Okay. The chat is closed. And I'm going to bring down the music. And unmute on Discord. Hello. Hello.
Oh, hey.
How's it going?
Hello.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Happy holidays.
Hello.
Hey!
Well, good to have you back, everybody. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to have you back. How you feeling?
Yeah, good. I'm good. I'm good now.
Recovered?
All gone. All recovered. Perfectly fine now. I killed COVID. It's dead.
You killed it. Good job.
It's dead. It's
Good
gone.
job.
It was
Big
easy.
CR.
Yeah, it was low CR. But welcome in, everyone. Good to see you for episode 25. Is there anything we want to shout before we get started tonight?
Come on.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, Tomato. Let's go ahead and just do
This
the
man
recap
wants
then.
to play some D&D and just
Yeah, I
get on
can't
with it.
Yeah, I understand. Sure. Okay, if you're very eager then, Tomato, do you want to do the recap?
Come on, man.
Okay, sure.
Christmas. I don't ask for much.
Who would like to do the
I
recap?
haven't read it in a while. I'll read it.
There you go.
This will be my
A little Christmas gift.
holiday
Dave's Christmas switch has come true.
Everyone gather round.
Everyone gather around. I'm going to tell you a story.
It's a rare occasion.
Last we left off, we had just confronted the source of the darkness amidst the roots of Alfheim. We learned it was caused by a moon fruit stolen from the garden of Hecate in Mesogaia. The one who stole the fruit was a favored mortal named Skirnir. He knew it would trick Frey into returning to Alfheim, who he intended to trap. When Frey arrived at the same time as us, 3 lesser Mesogaian gods appeared and attacked him. We fought and killed Skirnir, and destroyed the tree causing the darkness. Frey killed 2 of the gods and captured the 3rd. Now we are journeying back to meet with Balder.
You just climbed up from a boulder to get onto the dragonflies and to fly back over towards where Balder is stationed. You'd spent a brief time in Alfheim, less than a week. But in that time, you managed to clear your way through the Notravn, getting a creature that was tormenting your town. You managed to fight your way all the way through to a dark spherical, essentially just corrupted portion of the forest, and cleansed it. Arguably your second most heroic adventure. But Alfheim is saved. For now. You take flight on the dragonflies, returning as you fly all the way back. I'll put you guys on the right. Are you guys on the... Yeah, you're already on the Alfheim map. Returning back down towards the open-bloomed flower town of Ale in the southwest corner of Alfheim. You see as each of the dragonflies lands, and you help get kind of like unloaded onto the docking area. And you see other people are kind of climbing and getting onto the ones you just got off of. Quite a busy kind of taxi service. You arrive back in Ale. What would you like to do?
I don't think Wilby would want to waste much time.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
Balder.
Yeah, I don't think there's actually any other business to catch up on, is there?
How are you feeling, Willoughby? You feel like you're going to lose yourself any minute to the poison boiling inside you?
What kind of fucking question is that?
I'm just checking in. It's been a while since we've talked about it.
I mean, it's just you. It's never been a significant boil up until now, and you just came at me very quickly. But no, I feel relatively okay to this day. Joe, can I do a poison boiling inside me check now that I've been directly reminded of my impending doom
Yeah,
by a friend?
Hell yeah. Do a Arcana or Nature.
We'll do Nate. That is an 8.
It's not familiar poison to you. You don't, outside of being afflicted with it, you've never studied this. You can't tell if It's growing. You can't tell how quickly it's growing. But you can feel that there is just a pocket inside of you. Like trapped air. Deep within. Hard to say if it's getting worse or not.
Doesn't feel boiling. Feels like it's pretty stagnant, if I'm going to be honest.
That's
Great.
good.
So
I
no
don't
rush.
plan on dying anytime soon, all right? If that's what you're implying, that I'm just going to all of a sudden keel over and turn to some poison-addled creature like what happened before. So don't worry about it.
I wasn't thinking that was going to happen, but like, how big of a possibility is it? Like, do we need to be prepared now? Is like stagnant tiny, like stagnant bit? Is it like a big, stagnant pool?
Big but stagnant, tiny but stagnant.
I need to be so clear that I am just kind of like guessing here. I'm not a doctor. I can do healing things. I am not a doctor. Okay. If we want to figure out, and to be honest, even if we were to look for a doctor, they would also have to be a plant doctor.
I was going to
actually
say,
give
do
me
you
any
want to
kind of
get
detailed
a doctor
diagnosis.
here in Ale?
I mean,
Do you?
that seems like, yeah, the sort of thing that maybe we could find here, or
You think we're
maybe
going
there
to
would be
find
someone.
a doctor for
Feel like
Kvistir?
maybe a botanist of some sort might know about like tree. I don't know.
Maybe we could find a Yggdrasil scholar or something, somebody who studied the roots here at Alfheim or something.
I'm
But
fine.
if you don't want to, that's
I'm
fine.
fine.
We don't have to. Okay.
I'm fine. I'm not. Listen, I'll give you guys a cue if I think stuff going bad, so you'll know to put me down clean. Okay?
You
Does
want
that
like
sound good?
a code word, or are you going to like make a motion?
Well, no,
or
because if it's a
something?
code word, if I accidentally say it, you'll
Yeah, it
kill
would
me.
have to be
So
one
I
you
don't
wouldn't
want to
say all the
fucking
time.
kill me, because I
Yeah,
accidentally
no.
say one word.
Yeah, because it can't be like an obvious word you
So
use
I'll
all
be-
the time,
I'll
right?
I'll
It'd have to
simply
be
just
like
Be very clear
rutabaga
and say
or
something like,
something.
"I am dying of the poison. Here it comes," and then you can kill me.
Hang on, I'm going to
And
write
then when
that one
he
down.
turns into a creature that attacks us, then we know, that's definitely confirming it. So
Okay,
we'll have
got
a pretty good
it.
idea.
That feels like a really clear phrase, so I think there won't be any confusion there. That is a good idea.
Joe,
Yes,
do we know for sure that the same poison affecting Willoughby is the same one that was affecting that Kvistir we saw before? Like, are we positive of that?
Not necessarily positive, but it was relatively similar in its kind of. It had the same kind of glow. It emanated
Yeah.
from the same area, and they're from the same kind of focus as a people. Safe
makes
to
sense.
assume.
That's some DM
Yeah, as a
bullshit.
reminder, since I wrote this like specific down. The logic was that it was the same poison in both of us, at least how Willoughby interpreted it at the time of investigating it. And the reason it hadn't affected him as much as it had the other one was specifically
difference.
because he hadn't been in the same plane and proximity to yourself at the time.
Yeah.
Well, then doesn't that mean that you're not actually dying? You're just descending into chaos. It's better, right?
Oh, that is better, right? You're not going to die. It's just chaotic.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's cool. I won't be dead. I'll just be kind of a creature that doesn't know right from wrong or anything going on around
It's
him.
easier to
That's not
fix
what-
that than to bring you back to
Yeah.
life.
Also, like, you could be chaotic and still know, like, right from wrong, right? You just are like, I don't know that, I care that much, or, maybe you have other things going on.
If we lose our sense of self, if Willoughby is no longer in control of his actions or no longer recognizes or loses his memories, how much of him is still him?
Okay, fuck
Is
it. They
that-
made this deep. Whatever. You're not dying. Let's go.
I'm not dying. I really just wanted to go talk to Baldur and let him know we did all
Oh.
this. And then you guys just really
Let's-
had to drill it back into me that I'm dying. And it just kind of...
You're not dying.
Also, the rest of us are dying. Like, it's not. Do you know the thing is, it's kind of shitty if you're going to be like, I'm not dying, but like some of you are. I know, not you, sorry, but like some of you are going to die. Like that is
jump
kind
into
of
a pool
shitty.
of lava and see if Yggdrasil scoops you up, be my guest.
Yeah, no, I
Okay,
would never
you can
do
jump
that.
in and see if you pop out as a tree.
No, I don't really want to do
wouldn't
that.
work for me.
I'm not a fan of lava, and I don't think I would be a good tree.
I don't
Really, I
think you'd be
don't.
I do not want to
No,
talk
I
about
wouldn't.
this anymore.
I think we should head to Boulder, deliver the news. If we pass by on the way, I'm going to pick up my horse. And then, or if not, I can get my horse on the way out. But if on the way, I want to see if I can get my horse.
Oh,
That
If
is
we
a
pass
good
in that way,
idea.
Joe.
Yeah, no, you would.
Forgot about
Right
Sapelli.
next to where the docking area is the stables. It kind of, it juts out a little bit awkwardly because most people here don't use mounts, so it's kind of this awkward stable on the edge of the docks. But yeah, you'd find Zapelli there.
Just one horse
light
just
elf.
standing there, like.
It would only be small, probably maybe only 4 or 5 kind of allotments for the horses, and you'd see the light elf that's kind of been caretaking them. Pull away the cart, and you see Zapelli come straight out, rushing towards you, and just kind of starts
there's
rubbing
my friend.
the head against you.
Pat on the face. Have you been looking after? Have they been looking after you well, my friend?
Kind of
Ah, yes.
keeps just
Big
nuzzling against you. You can hear as Zapelli's like biting the side of your hair and kind of chewing on it, and the light elf says, "It was very eager to find its master again, so it's good to have you back."
Thank you. That's good to know. Thank you for taking care of them. I know that this is not normally your service.
It's fine. We are prepared.
Excellent. I think I paid you, right? Did I pay
I
you? I think.
believe so.
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did. It was an
Okay.
unreasonable amount of money, and you just kept tipping
Good.
them.
Okay, in that case, I won't give you any more then. Thank you,
It's
Dave.
fine. You've
And
been
then
very generous.
I'll
with it.
just-
Thank you very much.
I'll lead Zabelli off, and yeah, just make sure. I don't want because I know chat's gonna be like, get the horse. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm getting
there's
my
the
horse,
classic.
motherfuckers. Yeah.
You would wander off with Zapelli back into the group, and the group is heading through Ale. Ale is fairly busy. It kind of gets the traffic of people coming back and forth. But you're heading towards the kind of
Excuse
main
me.
dome, where the kind of flower itself blossoms. This great big dome where they've kind of created the almost the grand hall of this town. And you'd go that way, and as soon as you're arriving, a couple of the guards outside look to each other and then push open the door. And it says, "Boulder is waiting inside for you." And they step aside, allowing you all to enter, including Zapelli. The door is big enough. It's a grand door.
Good. Excellent.
And inside is the familiar setup. A lot of the elves have left and given the room to Boulder, who you can see his bedroll is beside a table in the center. Basically, it's kind of like imagine kind of a theater room. It's almost the chairs that go all the way around and up on kind of tiers and in a circular formation with right down in the center where there's a kind of a center, almost altar-like table and stairs that go up to that. And he's been staying in that center area, awkwardly kind of sleeping and resting here because the light elves were so generous to him. By the time you've kind of entered inside, you see Boulder washing his hair. He's got like a bowl of water and he's kind of washing through and cleaning his hair. And he sees you all, and he flicks it back and you just kind of see it kind of lines up perfectly. And he smiles.
Shampoo commercial.
Near enough one.
Hey,
You
everyone.
see it kind of, not even like he gets a single strand of hair that kind of goes down his face. And he smiles towards you and says, well, welcome back, heroes. The darkness is faded, isn't it?
Well,
That
it
it
is
has.
fading if it hasn't faded.
It's mostly gone. That's
Oh,
good.
good.
I assume you are the responsible ones for having it diminish.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a significant part to play. We
This-
dealt with the actual source of it, but
And what was the source, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah,
Wilby
I'll probably-
will pull out one of the fruits that they did collect
Yeah.
from the tree before it was fully,
Mhm.
disposed of.
Yeah.
We'll kind of plop it down on the table.
some sort of plant of Mesogaian origin, turns out.
Explains why I've never seen it before. And lifts up by the stem and looks at it. Strange looking fruit.
I'll
This was
kind
the
of
cause?
brief. I want to just quickly catch everyone's eyes and be like, so, like kind of whispered, like how much are we saying here? Like out
We'll
of
be
character,
saying
like-
everything.
Okay, so we're just gonna tell Boulder
Uh,
straight up anything that happened.
Yeah.
Wilby, at the very least, has a significant amount of respect and trust for
Sure.
Balder.
Yeah, Juno's happy with that.
It was kind of a convoluted situation
Scene.
when we got there.
Hmm.
Convoluted.
You know, Skirner.
Frey's
Well, I
friend.
think-
And
Well,
Not anymore.
Yes.
not anymore.
Perhaps one of the first things you should know, Baldur, is that Frey was there, and is
Frey
here
returned.
back.
He did. Also, he seems a little. He's kind of a dick. You probably know that, right? But he seemed resentful that he was coming back and didn't want to have to really help that much.
It's not surprising. Frey was temperamental during the Aesir Vanna War. I fared enough to him for being so at the time, but he harbors some old resentments. It's not uncommon for him to mistreat others.
My companions can correct me if I get any of these details wrong, but from what we were able to sort of ascertain, it seemed that this Skirner stole this fruit from Mesogaia, from the garden of the goddess Hecate, and brought it here, planted it to create this zone of darkness in some sort of scheme to bring Frey back. And they seem to have been allied, but when Frey appeared, 3 lesser Mesogaian gods arrived, and Skirner unleashed some sort of plan to take Frey down, to claim Alfheim in some way. Frey fought
There
the
was
3...
a bee one.
It's B-boy. There was some kinda
The bee thing was gross. There was a lady with wings.
wings.
Shit. They took one away, right?
There was
2
one that
died.
was like windy.
Yeah.
Who
The
were we?
northern
The lady
wind.
one, she
Power
got
wind.
taken back
Wind.
with Frey.
Could Juno just tell, because like I
Alive.
didn't have my notes last time, but like
Yeah.
I remember that Juno knew the gods, right? Like,
Yeah, it
could
was,
she just be like, yeah, it was these 3.
Yeah, the 3 gods
Yeah.
were Aristius, the
Yes.
god of beekeeping and cheesemaking, Boreas, the wing, basically personification of the north
wind.
wind, and Baia,
Baia.
who represents
Baia.
power.
I can't remember. Did
And-
Draven carry the body of the... I think he like...
Yeah.
Did you take the corpse of one of
Oh,
them
do you
with
still
you? Or
have
did
it?
we get
He
rid of...
started
Well,
to carry it.
here's the thing. Did Freyr take it from me?
I
Because I'm
remember
pretty sure
some
they
sort
did.
of altercation about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I remember
said,
right.
I was looking for that one. Was he just making sure they were dead?
He's
'Cause if
making
not,
sure
He
it's
was
dead.
just making sure they were
Yeah.
dead.
Oh, then yes, he did bring him back. Because he bit them and they taste like honey.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I still got that then.
the B-boy.
Is the body there?
Yeah,
One of
that's
them.
one.
He, from what I remember, Frey killed 2 of them, and the third.
Yeah, he
bear,
had Frey called
had-
2 friends, right?
at the
Didn't
end.
he?
Yes, I think that he,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he killed all 3 of them.
he
captured
killed
one.
2 of them. He
Yeah, that's
captured
right.
one. They
Demon
took the.
Yeah, no, he
took
called.
Baya's
Sorry, I said
wings.
he called. Didn't he? He had. Frey had like people take the
Yeah.
one away.
He pulls up his own bedroll, pulls out kind of the lining of it and throws it over the table. Can you put the body over that?
Yeah. Begrudgingly, Draven does.
He smiles. I'm not going to do anything to it. I just need to. He just looks across the wounds of it. Skirner always was a shifty one, but so are all of Frey's friends. He keeps unsociable companions often.
Mm. It seems that this Skirner held sort of manipulated many of the Dark Elves into assisting him, convincing them that this was their chance to reclaim some of what we've come to understand, this war between the Light Elves and the Dark Elves, these fruits that they fight over. This was meant to be a way for them to gain strength, to even the odds a little bit.
There were
It is unfair.
there were some
Mm.
elves who were captured. We, cut them loose, and there were some. Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't there some dark elves we kind of
Yeah, Draven or somebody, I
restored,
think Draven-
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so some we were able to help, and then some I think maybe had the fruit for too long, so they just are changed in whatever way and still.
But we didn't want. There was some that I think that Draven managed to convince to give up the fight, and they
Yeah.
fled. those who stayed, we did have to fight, unfortunately, to the death, but there were some who gave up.
Who gave
who
up
fled.
and ran?
But I do feel that the Skirner had absolutely manipulated them, convinced them to basically aid him in a selfish goal. I don't think that that was his true intentions. This all seemed to be about taking power from Frey in some way. To my eyes, at least.
It is sad that gods fight over the fate of mortals without with them being used amidst it. He looks across the body.
My other fear, Baldur, is that Frey will punish the elves here.
I'll make sure that does not happen.
Good. That's a relief. Thank you.
The monarch, is that what she was called, right?
Yeah.
Who we spoke to, she was going to... They had one sun fruit they were going to save for Frey to visit, and of course he doesn't really visit, and it just...
I've got an idea.
I don't know, it seems really unfair and bad.
One moment. Chalice. You see one of the light elves? Come to him. Yes. Baldur. Send word back to my father. Frey and the Dark Elves of Alfheim have killed Mesogaian enemies, gods, here in Alfheim. They should be rewarded. Make sure the Dark Elves are mentioned as part of it. They help us slay them as well. You see the elf bow his head and head out. That should keep my father's eye on Alfheim. The Dark Elves won't be punished if they're being rewarded at the same time. Sorry to not give you credit, but you don't seem like the type to really care about that.
It's okay.
I wish I could take over from here, but we can't risk. The matters between the Aesir and the Vanna are a little bit tenser as of recent times. My father fears a second war. When best to rebel, if not for when we're distracted with an entire different pantheon. So, unfortunately, I'd love to take Alfheim from Frey's hands. Truly develop this forest into something it truly deserves. But I can't risk it, so... At best, all we can do is make sure to try and distract Frey elsewhere. He'll probably be distracted with his new captive. And it's likely he hasn't reported that to my father either, so...
Do you have a theory of why Frey took Bayer?
That is concerning. We're on a... I shouldn't really be saying this, but... We're told that if we are to clash with any gods on the other side, it is death only. No captives. No discussions. We kill. Odin, my father, does not want this war to become one where deals and potential betrayals could happen.
Isn't Frey already quite nervous over his relationship with Odin?
That's what concerns me. Is if they've opportunistic gods from Mesogaiah is not surprising. It is sad. I'm sad for this one. A beekeeper, a cheesemaker, a simple focus as a god, and yet you can see even in Mesogaiah they're so obsessed with the idea of rising the ranks and performing well to their greater gods that they're willing to throw that all away for an opportunity. The war is sad on both ends, but for why he would capture them is not a... Maybe to torment, maybe to prevent it happening again. If it were to be optimistic, perhaps he is simply trying to better his borders.
It is by his nature that concerns me. Power? If Frey had a way of taking her divine strength in some way.
I
He
think
picked a very good minor god or goddess too, if that was his intention.
It might be. Frey's never been one for... He's not looking to overthrow anyone. When the Aesir and the Vanir fought, our pantheons came together in battle, it was a bloody one. And in truth, the Aesir, our side, has been always the more powerful of the two. But the Vanir were swift, cunning, quick to act. Frey was very much the reason that war continued. Him and his sister both. His sister beloved, but his brother, her brother. He was more cunning than most. He's always 2 steps ahead.
Do you know anything about his sword that was stolen, that Skirner stole?
Not
Because apparently that is in Mesogaia, we think. Like maybe that is why he kept her, to find out where the sword is.
Not. Oh, maybe. Perhaps. He lost
Like
the
was
sword.
it a
to
really good
Skirner.
sword?
I mean, it cut many of a god back in the war. He was very fond of it. And he traded it away for love.
Interesting.
What is to happen to the bees and the trees of Mesogaia if their god is dead?
I love you so much, Brizzy.
Great question.
It is not a god's duty to make sure things keep running. It's not a god's duty to make the bees and the cheese exist, but simply to bless those who pursue that practice, or to help guide those beings or the object, its future, watch over it. It is simply now that it is more likely that the bees will be left to their own devices. Maybe another god will take up the rank. I know in Mesogaia more so than here. When one god is gone, others quickly fill in the role. Perhaps if you were to ever see Zeus, he would be god of beekeeping as well.
There are always many interns waiting on the sidelines to fill the stage.
There are.
Do we need to... Do you need to be concerned about Frey at this point? Like, do we need to...
Better to be always
Worry
concerned about
about-
Frey.
Like, if he were to contact us again, we should think about it.
Contact you again. Did you make contact with him in the first place?
No, I mean, he was there, right? When everything happened.
we had to.
He was like,
We really didn't have a choice. We had
right
to
there.
tend to the elves that were injured.
Did he see my face? Or was I
Yeah,
a dark
you spoke
elf?
Oh yeah,
to him.
you spoke to him.
Was I a
I
dark
mean, yeah,
elf?
you were, a metagame
Were you?
assuming that he can't see through illusions, but yes. you
I'm not
were
gonna
a Dark
assume
Elf
that.
disguise. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Gods
Frey?
trick
Say,
each
like,
other all the time by
didn't he say-
transforming, so...
but like, didn't he say like, what if I have jobs for you? Or, right? Am I
Oh.
misremembering that?
No, you're right. He did.
Yeah.
I did tell him
You
that we.
basically signed us up for mercenary work.
Yeah.
Well, you
But
put,
like,
I
Draven
Willoughby
put the
wasn't
offer
there
on
to
the- he
hear
was
it,
like,
so I can't talk.
Yeah.
Draven gave out a business card. Draven was
Right.
like, hey, here's, we're not
You
agreeing
gave
on anything,
all of
but
us. You gave our
Yeah,
business
so
card.
Lena's just saying, like, what if he wants to, like, what if he can't, I don't know, what if he's like, hey, I saw you guys were pretty capable fighting my friend. Also, don't tell anybody I took this lady and I want to talk to you. Like,
It's
shouldn't
because
worry.
I mentioned potentially helping getting his sword back,
yeah.
and then he was like, I don't need it, but I might have other stuff for you.
Right.
Oops.
Hmm.
Nah, oops. I'm proud of it.
Frey is...
I own it.
It's better to stay out of his... Best to be unknown to him. His friends, as I said, he keeps sour types around him at all times.
He does not
Didn't look
seem-
too friendly.
But he also shares a lot with his friends. Something to consider.
He does not strike me as the type of god who cares much for the people beyond his small circle of friends. He does not seem to care about the greater needs of those around him.
He did once. Frey
Interesting.
was harsh, cunning but harsh, but only mostly towards the Aesir. In fact, his ire was stalled when my father gave him Alfheim. He loved these people, truly loved them. And I respected it for a time, but I think he grew complacent. He grew distant from them. And now bitter. So he was different for a time. I'm afraid that is the way of most gods. Most.
Most.
I admit, I had always thought gods to be rather inflexible, unchanging. But it seems that that may not always be the case.
It takes a lot to change them. A lot more than most mortals, and sometimes that is for the worst when you come across a god whose personification is something quite unfavorable. But though they don't like to admit it, most gods are closer to mortals than they think. And often case, less intelligent, less cunning, less capable. As proven here.
Boulder goes up in Juno's. She's like,
good
I
to
like
know.
this guy. I like this one. He's a good one.
I appreciate your trust in me with this information. I'll see what I can do to keep the elves safe.
I think that you may be one of the very few gods that Willoughby actually does trust and seems to enjoy. So I think if he does, that's a pretty good indicator to me that you're one of the good ones.
Did you not enjoy the others, Willoughby, at the parties and celebrations?
They don't talk to me. They don't look at me. I haven't exchanged words with almost any of the gods other than you.
Fools for doing so. Because some of the liveliest conversation comes to the Kvista at those festivals. Their loss. Well, I'll find it some way to reward you. But in the meanwhile, if you can, keep doing as you're doing. Keep helping. By the end of this war, there'll be a lot of death. A lot more than perhaps even we expect. But with people like yourselves helping along the way, at least there'll be hope. If you need anything, you know where to find me. And if you do see Frey, try to say that I was just passing through.
Got it.
Is Juno sort of look around like if there's anything anybody else wants to say or talk about?
You're an unusual lot. To come together, I mean.
Oh, yeah. It's an odd bunch.
That's good. It's the unpredictable ones which are often the ones which get the better end of all of their adversaries. Hard to expect what you don't understand.
That's true.
Well, he runs his hand across the Pelle's chin, kind of gives it a little scratch. Make sure to spoil
goes
that
up.
one.
Oh, always.
Thank you again.
Pretty good in a fight.
Is that right?
It's really good at
Seriously.
kicking. Like really good at kicking.
I should be giving him, I think,
Infamous murder horse.
But I think the traditions of these lands, I think that Zeppeli's under a warrior's name, like Bandit Kicker or something. Zeppeli Bandit Kicker or some
Bandit
such.
kicker. That is good.
I'm sure to keep Zeppeli's name in my mentions when I speak of your group's deeds.
Thank you.
Willoughby.
Yeah?
How are you feeling?
Well, I just covered this walking in here. It depends. Are you asking me about how I'm feeling about slowly dying, or like mentally how am I feeling?
Whichever you feel more comfortable answering.
Physically, I feel the exact same as I have for the last couple 100 years.
That is good.
Though mentally, I am keenly aware of the fact that while I remain in this realm, have a much sooner expiration. But aside from that, okay.
Okay's better than most. Keep feeling okay. And when this is all over, I want to hear all about Othello.
Absolutely.
Good. Well, I don't want to call all of you. For now, heroes will do. Unless you have a name.
Oh God, what was it? I can't remember. The
I
name
think
you
we're
guys came up
still
with.
kind of thinking about it.
We're figuring it out.
It's workshopping it,
Yeah.
trying a few things out.
Probably for the best.
Playing around with one.
I'm sure I'll hear it again.
Out of character, what was it again?
It was Myth's Folly before.
That's
That's what it
Mythfall,
was.
It was
Mythfall.
like that, or like Folly of the Gods, or something.
We
That was
said
the
not
longer
Folly of the
version.
Gods because it was too close to Godforged. That's what I out of character. I put that.
Right.
Yeah, Myth Folly. That was
Sounds-
And I think you're worried about pissing off gods by saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more
Going around saying,
targety.
like,
Yeah.
fuck you,
Are we
God.
worried about that? I've seen our interaction.
Were.
Well, I think
We used to go
more
on
so
undoing
from
it.
a,
Above
Trump
board,
God
I
friend.
like Myth's Folly above board. I don't think that like we've had enough time as a group in character to be
True.
like, that's what it fucking is.
Yeah, we need to take on more myths and more legends, and then we'll be like, fuck yeah.
We can mention that's the name we were talking about to Balder, so that if it is decided later, then in character he can use it, and then if it's not, it's like, oh, I'll change all of that. Thanks for telling me. Blah 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 blah.
Because if we count it, so far it's Grendel, the Not Raven as well. Like these, in terms of like legendary kind of beasts and stuff that we've felled, like those are the two that string to mind. Is there another one I'm missing?
Lady of Mirror Lake probably would
Lady
count.
Mirror Lake. Is,
It also myth doesn't have to be just creatures, because we've now
Yeah,
gone to Alfheim and saved both the
that's
light and dark elves.
True.
We've encountered we encountered Freyr,
Yeah.
True.
yeah.
True.
We are the ones that change the way the myths end. Myths Folly or some shit. I don't know. Someone else talk.
I think that now it's a case of I think we need to decide where we're going next. I mean, this is not a request or even signing us up for anything, Balder, but if you have any suggestions or ideas or tasks that we can consider, I mean, I'm not saying we'll do it, but I mean, I know that that's probably the next thing we're going to talk about is where we go from here. So
Weren't we headed somewhere after this?
We
The
do
thicket
have
for the
put it on the
drops in the eyes.
guys, you got to get the quests while you're in the region, and then you come back to them later.
Baldur, it
you know?
feels like you might be a
Gotta
quest
fill the
giver
quest
in a
log up.
hub. So
Exactly.
I
like,
see
what?
this big exclamation
like
mark over your head, and I
We
just
didn't
can't
like
stop.
say every
keep ignoring
dialogue
it.
with you yet. So do you have anything else you want to tell us?
I don't trust that, because Joe's
how
gonna
do
be
you
like, you gotta
feel?
pick two.
Yeah, great. Even better. Oh, decision where we have to pick one over the other. I love it.
If we don't know about
Baldur,
them
are
yet,
you
then
single?
the
Are you a
timer doesn't
romance
start
option?
ticking.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
There are problems happening all over. Currently, this war everyone's expecting it to kick off in the next few months. Maybe
That
sooner.
seems really fast.
Well,
How?
from what you've just told me, I'm expecting weeks.
That's true.
People are preparing.
Baldur,
Hmm.
do you know of any way to get to Mesogaya with the least conflict?
Like, and maybe like quieter. Just it doesn't have to be, but I would like to know that as well.
Wilby's like looking around like, bro, he knows the exact way to get fucking through most of that shit, easy peasy, and they just asked a fucking god instead about it.
Roll a persuasion check, Draven.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Don't say that.
Don't believe.
25.
Oh,
The quickest way is technically through the Bifrost. But that will get you recognized. Heimdall keeps his eye on that at all times. But if you put in the right favor, you could probably get a quick trip there. Otherwise, sailing is the most incognito way to do it. Or
Just get the boat.
flying and find something to fly there. You have to go through the mist one way or another. Just how quickly you go through it. And you'll be passing by if that are on the way.
I'm not saying we should, but I feel like we're asking about the Tree of Life here. And the problem is, assumedly, if someone knows more, I don't think they would stay here. I think they would go to the enemy side.
Well, it's
Oh.
good to keep our options open for travel.
yeah. Or maybe hide out in Athela, a neutral place, maybe.
Looks
I-
at Willoughby.
Also, following
hiding
up
out
on
of the
that,
fella.
Baldur, is there any way that you could at least put some kind of good word in for us with Asgard? I can't even make contact with anyone at Yggdrasil's roots. I'm not allowed in.
I can try. Asgard right now has been shut down and turned into a training ground for the greatest heroes. It's an easier sell if you do more.
Oh, like we just do a few more things. They'll be like, "Come on in, it's fun. You can train
But if
with
you
us."
if you start the ball rolling for us, we can
I can.
probably sort
Right.
I
that
can
out.
start keeping some eye on you too. As potential recruitments for that, but Asgard right now, when you enter it, people are being trained by Valkyrie. The Einherjar are almost prepared to go to war. And any would-be heroes that have actually proven themselves here, been given a lot of power, they are being invited. Perhaps I can get you on that invitational list.
Hmm.
But be careful when you're in Asgard. They are very paranoid of any spies getting in. I can tell you right now that inviting a couple of Mesogaians in will be potentially a first. Outside of any betrayers that I don't know of. I'm sure there will be some.
Everybody is paranoid.
They are. They are. My father most of all.
Yeah.
Things are bad right now. There are. Every single one of the realms has issues. We currently have in Alfheim very few. Outside of what you've solved, but the Draugr are looking to walk again. The north is being filled with the dead. The south, new gods are rising. The east, Jormungandr has shifted very slightly, causing the waters to crash, and the island's entire cultures and nature has just changed. In a matter of months now, Midgard itself has fallen into turmoil.
Is there? I mean, I guess on the face of it, right? We're going to see what else we can do to help in general, people in general, just the world, right? But I'm wondering if everybody's so paranoid, Oten especially, is there anything we can do to... I don't know what I'm trying to say, like, make people less suspicious, right? Like, oh, they are doing, like, right? If everyone's trying to prove themselves and everyone is paranoid all the time, how do we show that we are trustworthy, I guess is what I'm saying.
Trustworthy to the people or to the gods?
I don't know. I would like to be trustworthy to. I would like to. It's hard, right? You are helping the people. I don't want the gods to freak out. If we're going to go to Asgard and everyone is paranoid, I want them to let us in because we are doing good things. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I'm concerned that it is a tightrope to walk, right? Of
It
like,
is.
I'm helping these people, now this one is mad. But then I help these people and now this one, right? To navigate
When-
that is
Trying to
Tough.
navigate between who is the right person to help. What is the right and wrong? There's often no clear answer. Unfortunately, the world is not as easy as that. But in my experience, the best thing you can do is do whatever saves the most people and helps the most people that cannot help themselves. Aid that side and you'd have done more good than evil. And though it doesn't counterbalance, though it's not a competition, it might help your sanity along the way. Don't lose yourself to what is greater power. People will trust those who care about the greater person, the greater people. Not every decision
I
you
don't
make will be
mean
good.
to put that on you to try to,
I will-
get you to give us an impossible answer. It was more just kind of thinking out loud. I don't mean to.
Just go with what you've been doing so far. Here, you saved a lot of lives. Focus on that. That will win you trust. If you're looking for work off me, what could I suggest?
If you don't have anything now, maybe you think
That's
of
fine.
something later. You tell us
It
later.
could
That's
be-
okay.
Advantageous to you. Perhaps travel a little bit east to Snaland. I'll give you guys the grey map so you can have an idea. Snaland currently has a conqueror taking it over. I fear that this will cause a civil war at the same time. Or perhaps if you are looking to mess with forces a little greater than you, there is a creature that has emerged southwest of here in Holtagor.
That's close.
Something which is said to be a dread to the skies. I think it is an easy decision when slaying a monster. There is a right and wrong.
That is true.
And, as morbid as it is to say, every god likes a good monster hunt. It's an easy favor win.
That is a good point.
So kill a monster, give something to the gods, potentially gain favor, to then make going into Asgard less of a problem. Easy enough.
You've taken a lot on your shoulders.
They really have.
What else are we going to do? You need something to fill the time.
I think that this gives us options. We know that the different realms have their problems, but this gives us two clear directions if we want to travel in. There are also the things that we've talked about, our own personal things that we've discussed, things that we wish to pursue. So I think that this gives us a good few options to work with, at least. I'm mainly just trying to improve myself where I can and experience these problems to expand my mind. So I'm happy with really following whatever the rest of you think is the best course of action or the most interesting or the most favorable. But I think that gives us a good few different options now.
Joe, can you tell us again what those two options were?
The ones we
So
just mentioned
Monster
now.
and Holtigor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Holtigor?
great monster in Holtigor in the southwest, a dread of the skies,
Which is very close.
and Snaeland,
Alfheim
which is far off in the east. It's the equivalent to Iceland, essentially. It's the island region.
Northeast of here.
Northeast, yeah. There is a conqueror who's arisen that is conquering the entirety of that land.
And Juno would probably ask Balder this, but it doesn't have to be like an icy answer. Does he think that the Conqueror is connected? Because I can see that the route to Muspelheim is there. And like obviously we came here and we found out that there was all the problem with Alfheim. Like, does he think that maybe this Conqueror might have something to do with Muspelheim, or is this like a separate issue?
Yeah, he would say to you, Muspelheim is currently undergoing its own civil war at the moment. The giants are warring to try and win Surtur's favor. They want to march alongside him. It's said that when Ragnarok comes, Surtur will be the one to destroy all of the realms, starting with Asgard.
Oh, Snaeland is big.
Mm-hmm.
He's conquering that? Neat.
So, it might have something to do with it. The Snaeland people are... One warrior there is worth 100 here, they say. They are tough, forthright, and often war against giants themselves. So.
They remind me of some people of my homeland.
I've heard.
Interesting.
If anything
thank
more
you,
immediate
Farley.
comes, I'll let you know. Otherwise...
And just to clarify, I know that we've heard of problems with, correct me if I'm wrong, is it Niflheim or Helheim? The dead are growing in strength and attacking other realms, or they are growing in number and...
Niflheim they gather. The Draugr who are sent to Helheim. Often their bodies escape and move into Helheim and sometimes encroach in the Northern Territories, but right now, if it is to be believed by the skulls who have traveled that part of the world, armies have started to arise. That is unlike them. But it is closing in on what we believe to be Ragnarok.
Great.
Do you know how Hel herself feels of this? Is she doing anything about it?
The quietest person right now in a war is Hel, which is surprising.
Looks at Eldred.
She does not answer anything. Loki refuses to speak with his daughter. On our behalf, at least.
Loki refuses to do a lot of things, I think, sometimes.
To the
He has
frustrations
his
of us.
own
Has anyone...
ideas.
I mean, is Hel still there? If no one has heard from them or spoken to them, is it... And these armies are gathering, is it possible that she is no longer in power or in control?
That would be problematic, but potentially she might not be there. I had not considered it. It would make it easier for the dead to escape. But where would she go?
I don't know.
Does she have any hobbies? What does she like to do?
It is hopeful that she doesn't have any hobbies beyond her job. That worries me now. I'd not thought of it. It is likely this might be the last time we speak. I know how Ragnarok is to start. I'm trying to do as much good as I can before it does. But it begins with my death.
That would be a shame. Your world will be lesser for your presence in it.
It's very kind of you to say. Anything I can do to help you along the way in the meanwhile. Often people speak about the last time you die as when they speak your name for the last time, but I actually think it's in the impact you have on others. You don't need to be spoken about. That's an arrogance. You just need to make sure that whatever you were trying to achieve is achieved through others. And I think that with groups such as yourselves, I die to a better world. But hopefully not soon. But Ragnarok is
Probably
coming.
not.
I do hope we get to speak again before then.
If not,
hope so
it
too.
has been good to know you.
It has been a pleasure meeting you. It is a shame that the gods did not speak to Willoughby. Or any of you. Because there's so much to learn. Thank you, heroes. I should be giving the Light Elves their hall back.
Yes.
Yes.
Again, take anything you need. And he turns towards his table and begins. He runs his fingers and closes the eyes of the beekeeper and looks to you, Draven, and says, "The body of a god is inconsequential beyond those who love it. If it is in your hands that you nurture from it, the body is yours to take. It's not my kill."
If you wish to suck on it.
I have plans for it.
Let's not tell me. Feel free to take it. He kind of lifts it and helps you to carry it again. And then takes his bedroll and just rolls it back up again. Goes back to what he was doing beforehand.
We'll exit, I guess.
Yeah.
I need a couple jars. I'm gonna ask the light elf for some jars.
Squeeze this man.
Yeah, you'd be able to get a light elf would give you some jars. Yeah.
I'm just gonna fill a handful of jars with blood, and then I'm going to give a light elf very distinct instructions of finding a relatively middle ground neutral place between where the light elves and the dark elves reside, till the soil, bury the god, and then put some sort of fruits or vegetables that they know all of the elves can consume, assumedly because of the blood enriching of this figure is probably going to enrich
very
the soil
fertile.
as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Not a monster, Jake.
Yeah, you'd see the Laos kind of, non-agreeance with you, and some of the more kind of agriculture inclined ones are like, we're astute. We can do that. And they kind of gather the body and prepare funeral rites for it.
As I just thought of something, sorry. As we start to walk out, I'm gonna stop for a second and say to Balder, I'm gonna take out the spoon,
Okay.
and I'm going to say to him, it really is good to know you, and I am glad that we met.
He looks at you.
I think I'm going to plan for the long term, and I hope you understand.
Did I visit you in a dream?
You did.
It is so easy to forget these things. The way that we travel to mortals is not easily explained.
It must be a lot.
It's not. We're not truly there. It's more of an aspect
You kind of seemed
ourselves.
like confused. You all did. Confused. It is okay. I don't.
He looks at you, smart. Go with whatever strengthens your cause.
It just felt a bit weird to not acknowledge it. So I thank you.
Besides, I have no doubt that it was a disappointment to you.
No, it wasn't. It was
No?
actually
There are-
weirdly nice.
There are many who favor Loki. Despite him being so consistently unlovable, unlikable.
It is so true. It really, really is. That is a really good way to.
I've
put
seen
it.
the good of him. He's a trickster.
I did once.
His jokes go far. Too far. But there has to come a point between where you ask the question, are you pursuing the love of someone because you truly care? And will it ever be reciprocated? And our love to the gods, vice versa to the mortals, is very much like that. With Loki, it may never be. Don't pursue his favor unless you truly, well, in his case, you truly believe in pushing your jokes way too far.
Yeah, that is really helpful. Do you want to know what you're doing in the dream?
I would rather not.
Do you want to know who is there? All right.
Can only begin to imagine. Best if I don't know. Dreams are not something I take much pride in. It is often a reflection
was-
of myself that is not. Huh? No, you don't have to tell me. Best if you just
No,
leave.
it was helpful.
Oh, good. Well, that's good.
Thank
At
you.
least I hope I'm better in reality, though.
You are. You are. I don't want to take up any more of your time. Thank you. You
didn't
really
take
helped
any.
me make a decision.
You've likely done the opposite. You and your friends have given me more time. Thank you.
Good luck.
It is not I who's been facing the world. All I have to do is die. Good luck to you.
I think
Um,
anyone looking around in the group right now, if you looked at Willoughby, you would see it is very difficult for him to not explain what's happened to the Norns and that he has a chance of surviving this.
It's really
was
hard,
wondering.
right?
It's
It's really difficult to not.
he's keeping it because he knows that it could jeopardize a lot more beyond this, but
It's difficult.
Okay, I was good because we were told not to tell the gods about
we were
it.
told not to tell any of the
Yep.
gods.
Yeah.
So
And I think Wilby knows that it would be a mistake, even despite the fact that he thinks Balder as one of the closest friends he has currently.
Yeah.
He can't tell him that. So he's been real quiet this talk.
as I turn and I walk away, I have the spoon out, and I'm going to take out one of my daggers, and I'm going to look back at Balder for a moment, and I'm going to carve an eye into the spoon
Okay.
and put it back into my pocket.
You feel kind of a magic go down the spoon and trickle into your hand.
Okay.
Outside in Ale, light elves are hearing the news of the darkness that is fading. Any who have kind of connected to Balder, and you can see they're kind of rapidly getting the dragonflies ready to kind of fly over and see if they can help out in any way. But this is one of the further civilizations from that section, so you can see it's only a select group of them, mostly from the kind of the Hall Guard and any who the monarch might favor. But otherwise, Ale is business as usual. It is early, so all of the various kind of canopies are coming down, and the little kind of cradled shops are opening and selling their goods. And Alfheim, as you first entered it, remains a kind of a hub for selling glorious things and kind of beauty. But you have saved it. One of the many realms that is undergoing issues. Perhaps one of the lesser issues of the many realms. But you have saved it. Where do you go now?
Are we? I think once we're away from people,
Mm-hmm.
That felt really shitty to not say anything.
Oh, you're telling me.
That felt really bad.
It's not.
I didn't like it.
Not.
I mean,
I think he's okay.
Agreed.
he
he
is
seems
okay, and he
at
will be
peace.
okay. But it still feels kind of bad. I mean, it is the right thing to do. We are told to not say anything. We're going to not say anything, but he's very nice, and it seems sad for
Kindness
him to
does not mean you're owed
be
information.
sad.
Especially information that your ignorance may save your life.
Balder's one of the
think-
closest friends that I have.
Mhm.
I
It
would
must
say.
be really
I don't
hard
have
for you, Willoughby. I'm sorry.
But I trust Mimir with my life. And if they say that we shouldn't be telling any of the gods, then we shouldn't be telling any of them.
Yeah,
Your silence
I'm
may
not
save your
saying
friend's
that.
life.
I'm not saying that I disagree with it. I'm just saying it was hard. It's okay to acknowledge that sometimes things aren't easy, you know? Are we going to continue on to the thicket and the eye drops? Are we going to... What are we doing?
I partially want to go check on those shifters to hopefully stop some semblance of a civil war between them and the mushroom folk. Because as strange it is I was considering these shifters, albeit the mushroom folk are plant-like, they're relatively vegetarians whether they realize it or not. So there are alternatives if we give them some. And having two allies in close proximity that are not allied particularly to any divine might be in our favor, especially so close to Alfheim.
I don't think
mean-
it's a bad idea. I also do feel that unless someone can check and confirm otherwise, the thicket isn't going anywhere, and neither are the tools we need to ask the questions we need.
Drew.
And we only get
No,
one
I've
chance to
got
ask
the
those
things,
by the
yeah.
looks of things. So it seems like it may be in our best interest to take our time and make sure we ask what we really want to ask, rather than ask something we may find out while we're traveling anyways.
Fair.
Eldred,
Yeah.
what do you think Hell is doing right now? That's weird, right?
It's pretty weird.
Are you like, is it weird, or is it like a bad, scary, weird, we should worry about it a lot weird? Like, does it change if we want to go back to Svepir, right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I spent my whole life believing she was one thing and she had one job, and then I found out that she wasn't doing her job, and I had wasted my whole life doing everything for her. But if she's not doing it because she's gone or she's in trouble or something, that's very interesting.
Do you do you like know anyone still that we could ask? Do you have any old friends? I don't know. Do you know like any contacts still or
like,
something that we could
like
reach out to?
my family who still worship her, or
I don't know. That's awkward.
people
Maybe
in
don't want to.
Helheim.
Like either, I don't know. I mean, also, I'm just saying that right now it seems like maybe we need to reevaluate what we are going to do next, right? And if that is something that is pretty bad, maybe it moves up the ranks a little bit.
Yeah,
But
I mean, either way, whether we're ready, I'd like to end up there someday, intentionally.
Right.
It just depends whether we're ready for that or not. Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
by walking, not by death.
And hey, understood. I'm not used to people of mortal existence saying they're ready to go to the underworld.
That's the thing. I'm not sure if I'm ready,
Hmm.
but I know I have to at some point.
Fair.
And I'm not sure we're ready to stop a conqueror of an island where the soldiers there are already worth 100 of a normal man.
This is
I
also
feel
a
like we're
long
ready.
trip.
Yeah, and
So
it's
it's so far.
away.
Yeah, right. And we're going to need to get a ship. Like, it's really far.
Yeah.
Holtagor
I
is
mean,
closer. We
otherwise
could go
we
to
could-
Svepier. We could then go to Holtagor
One
from there.
beast.
We
One
could
flying beast,
wing-
we can handle that.
We could
Yeah,
try
we've
and
killed
find a
monsters.
couple off-the-grid Yggdrasil routes as well. That's not out of the question. Just depends on if anyone wants to chance.
How many of those are
possibility.
there?
A good amount. The problem is most people are too scared to use them because they kill you if you fuck it up.
What would you all like to do? I can simply send a message. We've talked a lot about what we can do, and in my experience, speaking sincerely, when we come up with too many options, we freeze. So if we have a
I don't think
choice,
it's really freezing. I just want to make sure I know all of our options first.
It seems like right now the trajectory we should take is dealing with what Draven brought up. We're here. We can do that now.
Yeah.
That's nearby. Likely, if we don't do it now, we are never going to do it. Realistically.
And I think we'll find out pretty quickly whether it's possible or it's not.
Yes, and Holtagor is also
we can try.
close. There's not much reason to go in the opposite direction to something well and truly quadruple
what I
to
was
quintuple the distance.
You
But
just
if we could do something that's
Holtagor
here.
first.
Yes, exactly. Our
I mean,
point
after
is
Svepier,
to
you know what I mean.
become as notable as possible. Defeating a giant monster is a fast way to do that, and a lot easier than dealing with armies and a conqueror.
Sounds good for
Also,
me.
if we die along the way, then we go to Alfheim. We figure that out too, so it's fine.
Right.
Sure, sounds good.
Unless we go to Valhalla, that would not be ideal.
I don't know.
Ted, do you think you can be like, no, wait, hang on, I want to go? Like, do you get to like have a moment where you say, like, just kidding, send me there? We'll find out.
Right. I mean, it doesn't work in the other direction, but maybe it works that way. Since usually Valhalla is where people want to end up, you know.
No, we don't want to go there.
Yeah.
And to my understanding, Straven, you had this plan to. Forgive me, I blacked out for a moment there. This is the plan with the mushroom people thing.
Essentially, I'd rather
Sure.
tie that knot while we are
Sounds good to
here,
me.
have
Yeah.
two allies in the same place, potentially stop what we know is going to be a relatively small scale civil war if they are left to their own devices. Because we try to stop conflict is something that I've discovered here. So I am trying to
sounds
be consistent with that.
That sounds good to me.
I think we do it.
Sure.
Will we can start walking back to Svepier while we talk about this. It is fun, but will we, okay, so you went to Atala for a while. I feel like we didn't go the same way. You probably went to like a faster way than I did. And you can travel all over. So, we were going to go to the thicket to do the thing and then be like, okay, we need to talk to the hags that share the eye and the whatever, right, in Mesogaia, and how do we get there like a sneaky way? Like, do you already know like sneaky ways to get to places?
Yggdrasil is a tree with many roots. I think that's a very broad way to put it. Those roots get everywhere, and they spread, I would say, more like an infestation of weeds than they do like a normal tree. And if you know which roots to follow, you can find yourself in almost any adjacent plane to this one. However, most of those routes that are not established traveling points, for instance, the route to Alfheim, the route to Niflheim, etc., are far more dangerous for the exact reason that they can simply deposit you somewhere that is not made for someone like you or I, the bottom of an ocean, 1,000 feet in the air.
So, two questions then. One, if we wanted to get, I don't know, I guess like, let's say we wanted to get to Atala, right? is the route that you used still there? And two, are these lesser routes like guarded? Do people like keep an eye on them? So if we went to try to use one, they'd be like, "Hey,
Oh, you're
where
not
the
going
hell
to
are you
find
going?"
official guards on any unofficial route. The assumption is that people aren't suicidal.
Yeah,
To be
but
clear,
I mean, they haven't
on
met
my way to
us.
Ethela, yes, I did not use a normal boat. I was distributed. However, I was also relatively, I would say, suicidal at that point. So I wouldn't exactly say that that route is something that I would even be willing to use now. I traveled by boat back here.
I mean, I don't really mind the boats. That's fine. I just was thinking if there was a faster way to do it.
The routes, those kinds of routes change rapidly. They are incredibly difficult to map and even more difficult to properly navigate. It was one of my last projects before I died was mapping those things. It's incredibly difficult. People die. There's a reason cartographers don't try it.
And you feel confident about them at this point?
I'm confident that if we wanted to use one to travel somewhere in Midgard, I could do it. I would say that if we wanted to travel somewhere beyond this realm through that method, I would ask you all if you're very sure. It's something I'd be willing to attempt if we were in a significant rush, but if we're
Then
not,
I think
we could very likely die.
if we are trying to get to, if we wanted to sneak into Mesog Island to talk to the hags, really what we need to do is do the thicket or take a boat and then wind up at the docks and then wander around to Mesog Island till we find the hags. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I understood what our options were, as I said.
No, I think
Good
it's
to
good. Yeah, definitely good to know our options. But I think, yeah, it sounds like we've got a nice firm plan. We've got convenient things nearby, and then we'll go and fight this monster to earn some godly brownie points from the sounds of things. So let's go and do that. Sounds good.
Another myth to folly.
Bust. Oh, wait.
That's-
No, not
yeah.
bust. Shit.
So is that what we're going with?
Monsters!
I didn't
said
quite
no.
catch all of that.
So,
Good God.
where would you like to head first?
Svepir.
You're welcome to
Svepir, right?
Svepir as we're talking, my friend.
Okay. On your way down from Ale, you take the kind of lift going down all the way to the roots to where they're kind of guided and where the lights lead to the roots of Alfheim. That lead all the way back to Midgard. Those massive roots that you had journeyed down beforehand. You'd already noticed that Baldur sent word to open them back up again. Well, the roots kind of closed over. They're now being opened. And refugees are starting to pour through. People that are trying to travel between the realms starting to come through, curiously talking to one another, trying to work out what's going on. More of the light elves from the other side are kind of like almost stationed on this side to help funnel people back through into it. And they're heading towards the lift going up to Ale as you leave Alfheim behind, traveling back through the greater routes to Midgard. And appearing on the other side, out, returning to the home world of all of you. We're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break there and come back with our journey to Svepir. Okay, go get yourselves drinks and whatnot, and we'll be back real soon.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, just take 5. All right.
Right on.
Ugh.
All right, chat. Just gonna go get a new drink, refill, and everything. Be right back. Okay, chat, let me just let them know. We're going to be unmuting in a second. Okay, let's bring this down.
Something that Joe's doing all these custom items, but hello.
Hello.
Hey.
All right, welcome back.
Thanks. Welcome
So,
back to you,
well, thank you.
guys.
Welcome back, Joe, to
I
your
appreciate
show.
that.
Yeah.
Think you can just fucking show yourself in without anyone inviting you to come on in?
I would assume so. I would assume, yeah.
Well, you'd be wrong.
You'd be fucking
sir.
wrong. Is the goddamn
Try
answer
again,
to
my
that
friend.
one.
I'm sorry. Okay. Do you know what? I take it back. Tonight's episode ends there. We
Good night,
just
everybody. Bye.
don't pretend to do that. There are people that
Yeah. Sorry.
silly enough to leave. You just exit.
Do not go
out
anywhere,
of-
chat.
You just exit out of the routes, ending up back in Midgard, in kind of the clearing area that's adjacent to the road and the great forests around you that grow tall and large around Alfheim, jungle-like. Stepping out of there, on the road, see other guards pass through, people coming back and forth. There were people who traveled down from through the actual routes the same way you came as well, trying to get back to Midgard. It's a two-way route. What is your first plan? To go back on the road towards Vepit?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. The road to Svepir is pretty clear. Would take you several hours to kind of journey that way, but eventually you would be able to arrive there after not too long of travel. Most of the day, arriving back there by the evening. Is there anything you'd like to do along the road?
Draven is going to ask, is there any god that this party are afraid of?
God,
question.
Willoughby is afraid of.
I think. Go on. Yeah.
I think you are silly if you are not at least apprehensive about the gods, right? They have a power that we do not have, and I think that I am wary of many of them, of all of them.
That was a non-answer, Lena. Is there one that you're afraid of?
I fear Odin's eyes more than anything. That he'll just know everything.
I'm not a fan of Thor. I think he's a little impulsive. I've seen him in fights at the tree. I would not want to be catching any of those blows.
Do you
I
know?
think
Oh, me? I mean, I think I agree with what Lena said. I am cautious of the gods. I respect them in the same way that I am cautious about a bad storm, or I am cautious about a prowling lion in the mountains. But I'm not sure if I'm afraid of one. Not in most direct circumstances. No more than I am of a trained killer with a sword, or a powerful magi with spells. No, I can't say
So,
that there's one in particular
no.
I'm afraid of. No, I don't think so.
What about you?
Typhon.
Typhon. Is that Titan?
Who is
That's-
this?
Typhon is a child of a god of the underworld. There is the mother of monsters here. I've heard Typhon mentioned as a father of monsters in Mesogaya.
Oh,
He seems to be maybe on par with Zeus. But although Zeus is complicated, Typhon is more of a beast. A beast that would choose not to be tamed.
Joe, would Juno know about? Because I remember when I was looking through characters to play, there are is it Tiefling?
Yeah,
Tieflings.
Yeah.
Tiefling. And would Juno know about? And they're supposed to be descended from Typhon, right? Or
Yeah, they're built of the blood of Typhon.
Yeah. Are they fairly common enough that like Juno would sort of
Yeah.
know of them, kind of thing?
Yeah, they're like maybe one in a few hundred people you'd find a Tiefling. Their traits are never two the same. The blood of Typhon can result in you having very subtle features, but it's usually just kind of slightly monstrous features or slightly unnerving features that you'll be given. Be it your face could be just upside down. It's the only thing. Your eyes could be at the bottom and your mouth on the top. It could be
that is horrible.
horns. It could be a great kind of monstrous mandibles. It can be all sorts of stuff like that. Tieflings are, as I said, never two the same. So the stories of Typhon are fairly known from that.
So yeah, I think
is this a god you have interacted with, and that is why you fear them? Or
No.
Have
But
you
I've seen one like them before,
Mm.
and I know what they can do. And in a war, a beast never stays caged.
Somebody will try to use Typhon, I'm sure, or Typhon themselves will convince someone to use them. The Mesogaean gods are, like Balder said, many of them are ambitious and they've always been trying to one-up each other, trying to steal each other's positions, claim Mount Olympus for their own, with a whole other pantheon of gods to contend with. I do fear how high those ambitions may take them, and what sort of horrors they may unleash trying to do so, perhaps. I know that there are the children of Typhon as well, mortals like us who are said to carry their blood. Rare, but it may be possible, but that some make their way over here as well.
What do you think would happen if Typhon was able to somehow control their children?
They'd have
thousands.
A powerful army, yes, for sure, certainly. But I don't know if, without some outside influence, there are many species and creatures that are the children or supposedly born from the blood of gods. I've never heard of the gods necessarily having control over them, although that is something of a local fear sometimes.
If I may say, Juno, you're not one very involved in the gods.
No, 'tis true. 'Tis true. I only have learnings of the mortal realm, and there are many things that we are secrets that are kept from us. It is very true. It is very true.
Do Mesogaean gods control people or their children like puppets?
Sometimes. People can be controlled in many ways. Money, power, greed,
Sure.
or
Manipulation.
physically. Minds are moldable.
why do you ask?
Because I expect us to have to face each of our fears one day. So I'd rather not have to ask, in hindsight, and know if a fear of yours is ahead. There's a difference in choosing to stand with someone with their fear, knowing it, versus afterwards.
It's also probably a good idea, seeing as I know the rest of you are sort of accepting these boons from these gods. It would be probably a good idea to know if there are any that people really don't want the rest of us to get involved with, or the rest of you, I suppose, to get involved with. I would hate for there to be that sort of conflict amongst us.
Oh, take a boon from Thor if you want. I don't really care that much. It's just I don't want to be around him physically, is what I'm trying to say.
He did offer me
Good
one.
to know.
Yeah, I guess
what?
that didn't come up before. Thor did actually approach me and offer me a boon. He was... How do I say this? Thor thanked me.
Well, it's better to be on his good side than his bad side.
For making his
This
daughter
true.
happy.
No, this one was
A
separate.
couple times.
Don't know if he knows about that. Not going to ask.
Mm.
Hope to the gods that he does not know about that.
Yeah, I mean, that could go one of two ways, right? That's either, oh, maybe that's a good thing, or then maybe it's a really bad thing that he knows.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I won't mention
And
it if
you-
he comes around.
You did not accept? Or you did?
I thanked him for the offer.
Okay.
And you
Well-
politely declined?
Is that really important?
Oh, you are dodging this question.
I feel
Yeah.
like
Amazing.
this
I
is
feel
Wait,
like
who
it's in-
just
very
said...
basic.
I know that-
No.
I was sort of thinking in my own head, and so maybe I missed this part, but did not someone just say, like, it would suck if we took a boon from somebody that someone else
Yeah,
didn't really
I said
like?
that, but I
Okay.
think it's advisable that if
Look-
we are going to work together, we are aware of
all right.
what we can
Covering
do.
that exact thing, then. First of all, pretty big fuck up pissing off Thor. Let's hope that he does not remember the same way that the sort of dream thing with Baldur works, and that he doesn't directly know that you ignored his offer. Simultaneously, can we just sort of go down the list and cover which one of yous has some
I already
random
told you
offer
who was
from
in my
God that
dream.
might
I think
give
that's a good idea.
uppity later about
That's
it?
a wonderful idea. Direct
I already told you.
communication. Direct
Who was-
answers, no deflections.
This feels like we have gone back to where I initially
Look,
started.
This
and
doesn't need to
this is
cover it.
great.
Just easy, quick sentences. I got an offer from this guy, this guy, this guy. Bada bing, this is the one I took. Here are the ones that might be pissed at me in the next couple weeks.
If they even remember, most of
If
them
they even
probably
remember, this
don't
might be
even
a
know.
dream thing, but I feel like
already
it's,
told
again,
you
good
who I
things
got
to know.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start because I already told you, so I don't really care. I had a dream. In the dream was Frigga, it was Baldur, and it was Odin, and it was super weird because they were all having dinner and making soup. Remember, I said it was really strange, and then I
Right.
didn't even get to have the soup. Anyway, so they all had pretty good things to offer, and Odin was a little bit salty about it and was like, nobody asks me what they can do for me. And then I said, what can I do for you? And then Frigga yelled at him and was like, you can't tell her. What else? That was pretty much the dream. Anyway, if you were still in the room when I was talking to Baldur, I feel like you probably understood that I was telling him I was not going to accept his boon. Even though it seemed like it would be a pretty good one. I really hadn't made up my mind until that point, until the conversation with him. And it was because he was talking about getting into Asgard, and he said everyone was very paranoid, and it was going to be really hard to get in. Maybe we could call Heimdall and see if we could get in through the Bifrost, etc., right? And I thought that is a really good point about being paranoid, and who's the most paranoid god that I know who offered me a boon. So I chose Odin. There you go.
Okay.
What,
I would also like
what
to
was
take
his
this-
gift? What can you do?
Okay, that is a good point. But I would also like to say that while I am okay telling you who offered me boons,
Mm-hmm.
understand that I am saying this with as much sincerity and neutrality as I can muster. You are not making the choice for me
Mhm.
of what boon I take
Mhm.
from a god. That is between me and the gods who offer me those boons, and I will make that choice for my own self.
I think that's fair.
Oh
With
yeah, I
that
feel like I've
said-
made my position on boons and everyone's decisions upon boons pretty clear, and that all of you are crazy for taking any to begin with. But that's just me.
Okay.
With that said, I think I'm trying to figure out how to say this in character, what the boon is. I think that
Good luck.
I have a little bit of, I don't know, like a sixth sense now about some things because maybe I'm a little more paranoid now.
Okay.
Above board,
Interesting.
invisible creatures do not have advantage to attack rolls against me from being invisible. And when I use Uncanny Dodge, I'm not required to see the enemy. And also, when I take Cunning Action to hide, I can use my Shape Changer feature for free.
Well, a bit of healthy paranoia isn't a bad thing, especially with how.
I have to be honest, I don't feel that much, like, extra paranoid.
You think you've
I
always
think
just been
this
a
was-
little bit paranoid, though?
Yeah, you know, I think the thing is, if you can just, like, if you spend a lot of time, well, maybe you are like this too. If you spend a lot of time hiding, right, you are a little bit paranoid that people might find you. So, I don't
I was
know.
not hiding in Ethla. I was stranded in Ethla. To be clear, there are different. Those are very different things.
All right.
I was
No
dumped
judgment.
there. I was dumped there by a big portal. This is not the same thing.
Okay.
I like to hide a lot. I don't like people to know where I am, so I was already a little bit paranoid. So it fits.
Okay.
To be fair
So-
as well, I did believe most of you were low-key up until about the first week had passed in this party.
Wise. Okay, so Lena, you got your offers from these gods and you've taken them all in. What about you, Eldred? What did you know? I think that you told us that you had some dreams from people, but who did you? You said it was Hecate, right? I remember you
Yeah, it
saying.
was Tyr and Heimdallr and
All right, you said Tyr because you were like, he said I was brave.
yeah.
And you didn't like that.
I don't know. I don't like being think of as a warrior. And then Heimdallr. So I do wonder if he will remember that if we ever do feel desperate need to use the Bifrost. But yeah, and then Hecate came to me through the moon, and I immediately accepted that.
That's
I
right.
don't think I blame you
I
on
remember
that
you
one.
actually telling us now.
Yeah, she gave me the ability to when I'm concentrating on an effect on one of you, usually I need to spend more power to give it to someone else, but I can just transfer it if you're close enough now. And another thing, when I'm using necromancy against enemies, I can hit two at once if they are even a bit of a distance apart from each other.
Okay.
Did she like talk to you?
No,
Just kind of
I just
like,
felt her.
got a sense.
I think we
Yeah.
remember we established that those who did receive word from the Mesogaean gods, it was distant, like they didn't actually hear a communication, right? It was as if it was at a great distance or something. I remember. Okay. Draven, you gonna tell us?
My patron, Thanatos, came to me in a way, spoke to me, offered me power, and I thanked them for it. But our power will grow in other ways. Tor also came to me, and it was less declining his gift and more acknowledging that I had more to show him. It is no secret that I do want Tor's favored, as well as his daughters, for non-romantic reasons, but for personal reasons that are aligned with my goals.
Like, I think sometimes the personal reason is non-romantic, but it's still like never mind.
Thank you.
Sometimes it's not romantic. Sometimes it's just never. It's
Hey, Lena, we're talking about boons, not fucking.
I'm just saying it could be like it.
Do you
it's
want me
fine,
to
we
end?
could
This is
just-
why I don't tell you anything. This is why you made it weird.
I like the
I
insinuation,
didn't
by the
make
way,
it weird.
that you guys were insinuating that Thor has come down and rewarded Draven for having sex with his daughter.
Boning his
And done it
daughter.
well.
Insinuated nothing. I insinuated nothing. Willoughby
That
stayed
she
quiet.
just was like,
One
I
of the
met
most
this
peculiar
guy.
things.
It was great. And he's like, what? Let me find him. I want to
Thank you
congratulate
for burning
him.
my daughter.
Yeah.
It's true.
Here's a bone boon.
The bone boon. I require the bone boon. Okay.
A bunch of weirdos.
And then Willoughby,
I didn't say
you
anything.
started growing fruits. Is that because of a god, or is that just something that you do now, that you grow fruits now?
Okay, so full disclosure, since we're all being honest here, so I
Mm-hmm.
gathered. What seemingly is a seed of Yggdrasil was placed at my doorstep. And it seems to be like Yggdrasil, and I believe I told you all this. When it appeared, I was very transparent regarding this. It seems like Yggdrasil might be trying to spread out their seeds a little bit and see if they have any backup plans if the poison does in fact kill them. I have no intentions of planting such a seed, nor do I plan on destroying such a seed. Instead, I'm going to use it as a bargaining chip.
Mm-hmm.
While I
That's
find
right.
out exactly how I came to be here to begin with. Like I have said, I was charting Yggdrasil's roots when I died. And I have reason to believe there may have been some foul play.
And it's inside you?
Oh yes, I'm carrying it
Do
with
you
me.
think it is like Yggdrasil gave you the seed in case it dies and then you plant the seed? Or do you think Yggdrasil gave you the seed like you will become Yggdrasil too?
Well, if that's happening, I haven't noticed it actually. Joe, has the seed changed at all in Willoughby since he started carrying it?
I would say it started to attach itself to you. Almost
Well,
like
I
the
haven't
roots
noticed
embedded
it.
into
Oh shit!
It looks like, right? Like,
Like
didn't,
trying to knock it
are you
off
like
his
kind of
hand.
white
Yeah.
there or something, right? To use, right? Didn't you like change color there or some shit? Or you have the
Willoughby
little
started
berries?
growing
Yeah.
berries, but I said Willoughby didn't notice it.
Right, that's it.
I mean,
Okay.
it's kind of sticky to me a little bit, but I could tear that off if I needed to. Long story short, though, when we were fighting last, I did seem to be able to produce a little bit more healing power than I had in the past. So
Okay.
beneficial as far as I'm concerned for now. That is to say, though, if at any point I wanted to dispose of it, I wouldn't lose any sleep doing so.
Right, well, thanks Yggdrasil in the meantime, I guess, till you decide you don't want it.
Who knows? Maybe every Kvistier of my age has received the same
berries.
seed.
Maybe.
I mean, it doesn't seem like a very large investment considering how large Yggdrasil is to make a seed this small.
Yeah, but you're pretty,
So,
well,
but why
you were
give
like
it to
far
me?
away
Why-
from it.
But why give it? I have
Because you were
not
like
been,
always there, you have like a good
I've not
relationship.
been secretive that I despise Yggdrasil. to
Yeah,
be
but
frank,
Just because you don't like Yggdrasil doesn't mean Yggdrasil didn't like
do you think it's a power move? Do you think it's a power move that is
Oh,
giving me the
shit.
seed? What kind of play do you
like
think
it's like
making
reverse
here?
psychology or
It's
something?
reverse psychology.
And it's like
it's
just
getting in my
fucking
head
with
about
you?
it. That's why I need to get. That's why I need to get back to Asgard. I need to have words.
That feels
with
more
the
like
tree
a
about
Loki
this.
thing than an Yggdrasil thing, though. But I don't really know Yggdrasil, so maybe it is spiteful.
I mean, I've never exchanged words with the tree before.
Huh?
Ever once in my entire life. Other Kvisti are able to do it. Some of them I was never able to. Maybe they were just scared though, because pretty much I would have nothing good to say.
Maybe they were
Maybe
just
that's what it
lying.
is.
What if nobody ever talked to Yggdrasil and they were like, yeah, no, we talk all the time, we're best friends?
Well, that would
Be really sad.
it,
Without
it
the
wouldn't
kind
really
of
bum
fun.
me out that much. It would just kind of, at the very least, free me from the idea that a conscious being literally killed me. To be clear, the route that I took when I died was one that I had believed up until that point was extremely well established and not going to dump me into a pool of lava. To be clear.
I
Did you
don't
find
think
that
it's-
one on
I
your
am
map?
a professional. I would go as far as to say I was one of, if not the best at the time. I don't know so much now, but at the time. And that route was established, and it killed me.
Was
Do you know where it... Did it take you to Muspelheim?
Oh, it
Do you
was
know-
Muspelheim, all right. I can tell you
Wait,
about
where
it.
did you think you were going to then?
I was going to Midgard. I was just going to I was going home. I was tired that day.
turns you into a god or like a
Yeah,
demigod.
like- Maybe it was a reason. It was like, oh, we need you for this instead. Lava stop or something. I don't know.
Well, fuck them. Okay, I
That's
didn't
pretty
ask for
bullshit,
that,
yeah,
and simultaneously
exactly.
they could have, I don't know, told me.
I'm not
once
saying
I
it's
got-
okay. I'm just saying that they operate on different levels sometimes, and they might have been like, we'll take him.
Since you're carrying the seed, you're basically a demigod now. You realize that?
I mean, I was already basically immortal before. I was already about as close as you could be with or without the seed. To be fair, let's be honest here.
But if you
Like
don't like the gods,
simultaneously-
does that mean you hate yourself?
Oh, I do hate myself. I hate what I am right
Oh,
now. I liked
no.
myself back when
Oh.
I was a human.
I don't get jokes. See, this is why I don't joke. That did not go how I was expecting it to.
I'm sorry, were you joking? Because I thought you were just kind of like confronting
I
what
don't
I
know.
am.
Lena
I
does
don't
this.
think he meant to like put you in existential crisis. I think it was more like,
Oh,
you hate,
you didn't
like,
mean to put me into existential crisis the same way that Lena and Eldred and everyone else didn't mean to confront my inevitable death just earlier today.
I don't
Well, I think
get
it's
how
more like,
mortals
do
get-
you hate your entire self, or like just because you can't really pee anymore, or like drink water and eat? Like, is that what you hate, or do you hate like your
Imagine
actual like
almost-
self? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I was quite happy with whom I was before I was a Kvistr. I liked being a human. I was incredibly successful. I would describe
Like good
myself
at a
as
human?
a prolific cartographer of my day.
I thought you were going to say prolific human, like you had a bunch of kids, but prolific cartographer makes more sense. Did you have kids? Before you...
Well, yes, I had a child.
Oh.
They're probably dead now. I wasn't exactly allowed to visit my family. I don't like talking about this for these exact
no,
specific
it's not. This
reasons.
is horrible.
I really don't like
daughter's
talking
dead,
about this. But to be
Oh,
clear,
Your child's in hell.
imagine every sense and feeling you have now, the feeling of wind blowing against you, the smell of the greenery around us. And then imagine all of that is just kind of taken from you entirely. And you're simply eyes that can see. Piloting something that you can't feel beneath you.
I think I would miss smelling.
Oh, you will. You will. You better pray that you end up in Helheim. Okay? You don't want to
So-
end up as a tree guy.
Yeah.
You've been walking and talking. The couple hours on the road, being kind of filled with conversation and kind of passing the time. It isn't long, later into that evening, that you see the kind of glowing, distant fungal forest of Svepe come into sight. You can see the kind of great mushrooms protruding against the trees. Some of the early signs of it as kind of small little kind of fungal patches by some of the actual normal trees as you kind of close in. But eventually lit up at night by kind of glowing natural mushrooms that almost infused with more magic. Greens and blues and reds and yellows, emitting almost a fluorescent coloring across the tree line. Almost like its own little kind of Vegas in the tree line there. You would see the open gates with patrolling guards of the various Amanita. Some tall kind of lankier ones which are like holding the gate right at the front with brown caps guarding it. Probably a good like half a dozen guards, some walking on the walls and watching. But people passing in and out, especially now since it's been saved. You've got kind of caravans that are moving in and out, and people trading. Most people kind of settling down for the night here, though. But you arrive in Svepe.
Question: was Alfheim the place where weird mushroom dream man's daughter was taken?
No, it's Ethela.
Ethela, thank you. Okay, I just want to make sure that we didn't. branch
Nah,
off
we
of that.
would have remembered if it was Alfheim. That's a lot closer.
Yeah. But you arrive in Svepe, and the night is kind of opening up to people trading and traveling around. The marketplaces goes on until later into the evening, so you can hear the kind of calls sent from the central part of the town as people will trade their goods. But you pass on in. The guards kind of just watch you as you go inside and probably take recognition of you, considering your actions within Svepe last time you were here. And also just kind of eyeing you up. You can see there's a general kind of consensus to watch to make sure no shifters or anyone is berserkers are kind of slipping through.
Draven would ask the guards if they've had any issues with the berserkers as of late.
Okay, yeah. One of them looks across to you. Not recently. Well, we've always kind of got border problems with them, but outside of a few captured not long ago, we haven't had any attacks recently, no. But we are also keeping close watch, and they don't usually push into our territory. It's mostly a man who are caught on the road or traveling a little bit too far out to get supplies.
That's a good sign, though.
Yep, not too bad. That's why we keep our eyes open.
Do you know where they frequent, like any areas?
North of here is where you would find most of them, on the borderline of the forest. We try to avoid and divert around. We like to go along the western road or eastern road and go north that way. But usually, they travel down from the north. The northern portions into the hills there, you would find a lot of them. The Eagle Clan harbors kind of a greater mountain to the north. We try to avoid that one. Go the long way around.
Yeah, Draven will reference to the party. That might be the place to go to find where these people are. If they haven't been attacking, then they probably are amenable to something. And those people also might have a faster route for us to get to
Hotagor.
That one. I don't know these Midgardian words.
I'm not from here. I don't know what it is.
Whatever gets us the hell out of here faster.
Kansas.
Willoughby doesn't want to be here. He fucking hates these guys. After how they handled the dream thing, he doesn't want to be here.
I forgot how much Willoughby hates these fucking dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd just be heading north.
Okay, north.
All right. Passing through the town and kind of making your way past the marketplace. You see a person on the road. Notice each of you. And walk straight your way, and it's Ashlar. A human who had been dating the bartender.
Yep.
Been dating Present. And he walks over and he's carrying a jug. And he steps right in front of you and just throws it onto the ground. It's kind of a moment where he smashed it.
She dumped him.
What evil did you bestow on us?
What do you mean?
What followed you?
Happened?
I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about? What happened?
When?
Skip
What?
the vague shit.
We
What are you
just
talking
got
about?
here.
Not a day passed when you left. When a Manitou, a nasty one, he came in and he spoke to my Idna. And he attacked us. And he cut her 2 middle fingers
What?
right off. And when I tried to attack him, he kind of leans his shirt up and you can see he's got a bandage on his side, which is a little bit red. He knew what she was. We managed to keep this secret hidden for so long. Yet you come along. And it all goes to shit. She's okay. She got a fever afterwards, but
What happened to the
past.
Amanda?
She's passed through the fever. She's well now.
she's better. She's not completely passed through it yet.
Okay.
The Manita left. We tried to look for him. I put in with the guard. They didn't believe
What
it.
the hell?
He rushed.
What did it look like?
The Manito?
Mm-hmm.
He was a brown cap. But he was wider. He was asking us questions.
Go
And
on.
he kept speaking about what her blood could do. And asking what she knew.
So he knew that. So you said that
He knew
they
everything.
knew what she was. I mean, yeah. We only.
Ashlar, we have not said anything
No.
to anyone at all.
How
I know
much you
that it's
believe
going
that?
to be- I know that it's going to be hard for you to believe, but we haven't. We left
Really?
here. We went to Alfheim, and now we are back.
If we
We have
talked, why
said
would we
nothing.
come back?
You don't
We
care.
didn't even know until we had gone into the dream, right? We didn't.
Did
know.
anyone else? Was anyone else around? Was anyone else attacked by the Amanita?
He knew just come straight for us. He was just
It
passing
attacked,
through.
and then it left you. It ran away.
It left the town. It did business. It took our fingers. They dropped to the ground. It took him and ran.
Did it take the fingers in the way that we've seen the mother of monsters, like finger stuff happen? Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Draven, when he says that, immediately remembers that he's still carrying the head that they took from the Grendel cave. Just in case that's something to bring up later.
Do you know? Did you see which way it went? I know you said you told the guards they did not. Do you
No.
know?
No, but
Anything?
he was seen heading out quickly, but
Did it say anything else? Like any clue about where it might have gone or how it knew?
it just kept talking about how the blood holds wisdom. And it mentioned... It asked what you had asked it.
It's going to the pools. That's where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
It was curious
Oh,
of
boy.
similar things to you.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to know you. That's why I know you
Yeah.
said. I know you said something.
We didn't say anything.
You put her life in danger.
We're very sorry that she was injured, that she was attacked, that they came for her.
We'll try and make it right.
We're
If we
going
can.
back that way anyways. We can
Hmm.
look at the pools and see if fine.
Track this thing down.
Did they leave anything? Did they drop anything? Was there anything they had that,
They had,
as they were stepping out?
they had this weird little totem. It was like a bird. Small, made of bird wings and bones. Had a
Mhm.
small head. I don't know what kind of creature's head it was. It was decomposed, but it kept
I'm
speaking
gonna-
to it.
Reaching, oh shit. Reach into
Well-
my bag and pull out the nasty head from the Grendel cave.
Like, Juno's
Oh,
like
you're
reaching for
still keeping that in your bag?
Yes.
Juno was like reaching for a stick to like draw what she'd seen in the cave,
might
and then
not
sees Draven doing that. It's like, okay, maybe I
Miss
don't have a
not
stick now.
smelling.
It's similar to that, I suppose. It was decomposing. It was a decomposing head that was attached to a bunch of bird bones. It collapsed.
Yeah,
though.
no, we've seen a similar totem, I
disgusting.
think.
Choop. Choop.
There
Well,
was-
In a
You're
bag,
an
in a bag.
artist. Can you draw us the best rendition of this assailant as you can?
Or help us track them down.
Again. He kind of reaches into his pack and he pulls out a small bit of kind of this like almost like this hardened leaf that's almost parchment like, and he gets his kind of paint supplies out and uses his fingers to quickly paint it. And in no time he kind of created it. And what you'd get is this kind of like an amount that is wider. You can see it kind of it goes from brown to this almost deep red on the top. Kind of very thick and has almost these kind of postural warts across its face, which are kind of colored in this like a slight orange color, but it's almost this very tanned whitish body, 2 eyes just in the bottom of the cap. Not an amenity you recognize, but kind of a wider set one. And
he said that this happened a day after we left Svepir.
Yeah.
And how long have we been gone since then?
you've probably been gone just under a week. Maybe 5.
So it's
5 or so days.
reasonable to say at that point that there's a solid chance this guy's already gotten to his destination that we knew he was going to. Like, how long does it take to
potentially.
travel from here to
To the
thicket?
pools. Yeah.
You know?
You can get there in a day.
Then
yeah,
even
no,
more so.
Yeah, we had
Well,
just
it's right there, it's
stopped
long.
because we saw everyone at
Yeah.
Alfheim like, oh, what's going on? You know?
But we're also a party of 5, and the thicket's supposed to be dangerous, right? Or like, it's not like that easy to reach the pools of wisdom, right? If I remember. So it might be that they've
if
not
he has
made
the
it
help
yet.
of the Mother of Monsters, I'd be shocked if they weren't able to.
Maybe. I just don't want to. Yeah. I just worry that if we just go like, oh well, they've probably gotten away. Like,
Well, I mean,
but
we
what if
should
they
go
haven't?
after.
yeah.
I don't know, because this is also a detraction from where we were headed, and no matter what, if this person is following us, they're gonna keep following us.
I think that they got what they wanted though. They got the fingers. They can go to the.
They
Dawn
got
pool.
what they wanted from this. If they've already gone to the thicket and it's been a week, there's a large enough window here where there's a solid chance that we could double back, get there, and realize that we already missed our chance. I think either way, we should do the shit that we were here to do and go north, deal with that, and then kind of decide if we want to curve that way and get that dealt with and see if
We
there's anyone
could
there
go.
after.
We could.
We
Yeah,
can't
we could go
replan
to the
stuff for this.
No, we can go to we can go via the pools on the way to Horligar or whatever it was called. We could do that.
Yeah,
right?
if
I
this
think
was
that's
if
on the
this was
way.
like a day ago, different story. It's been
Yeah,
too long.
I think you're right.
to operate on like a knee jerk.
Yeah.
Let's change our plans to react to this.
Yeah, I think
there's
you're
also this figure knew what we knew, meaning if it's not the head, maybe it's the fingers, I don't know, but there's something that they have been able to use to probably see what we see in some way, or hear what we hear, or be aware of what we're doing.
right. Did you get rid of the head? Did Draven like toss the head after this, or is he still keeping it?
So he has it, but he's trying to figure out what to do with it at that point. Because like is it smarter to try to deceive the head now that we know if someone is listening?
I mean, are you saying any of this out loud, or is it just like inner?
At some point, Draven would probably like look at Lena or Eldred and try to connect our brains, and then that stuff would come out telepathically. Yeah. So like
Well, I think
mentioning-
also, yeah, like I mean, Juno's probably trying to put 2 and 2 together, and is like, well, if this thing, like you said, if it knew what we knew and it knew who she was, and it's been following us, like there must be some connection that it's listening in somehow.
There's
How
at
could it be
least
doing
at
that?
the very
Could it be
least
the rings?
right
Could it be
now.
the head?
I, as Willoughby, if this head is out, would like to cast Detect Magic on it, because I
Yeah,
don't think we
do it.
did that when we got it. I want to see if this thing is still magical
Go
at
for
this
it.
point. So I'm gonna ritual cast that while we're talking.
Yeah, you would cast that magic on it, and you'd find a kind of greenish tint that comes across as enchantment magic.
This thing is still magical in some way.
So Draven's gonna say out loud,
Can you still hear us, you insignificant, foul-faced bitch? And I guess now, childless mother, tell me, can you hear us?
Roll an intimidation check.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Too bad.
Is there any way that I can like help as
Don't
like
be
having just
intimidating, man.
confirmed that this thing is magical and kind of outed it, if that is
It's-
what's happening here?
More of a
Oh, no.
How much?
Did you? I was gonna tell you to add a d6 to it with the.
It's more of a how much you've pissed it off
Wheel
intimidation check than it is actually being.
I mean, I'll still have the
nice, you rolled
D6 if Joe would let me.
Well, I didn't see the roll yet, so
Do
I
a
assume you
pissed
rolled
off
fucking
check.
bad from your reaction.
It's going to be a straight roll for this one. The
Excuse me.
with the 21,
Oh, jeez.
you hear it go,
Oh, shit.
you speak so ill to one who could end you all. You speak with a tongue that is undeserved of you. You speak of my lost boy. If I had eyes to look upon you, I would be glaring at your soul. For now, know that I'll get the answers I want. As my friends consume the last of the droplets, know that some of the questions that will be asked will be who each of you are, who each of your families are, if you have children, parents, loved ones, and where they are right now. And if you think what you did to my boy was bad, I'll bring down 1,000 torments on each one of your loved ones. You dare!
Bye. And
Like, I think like Juno's looking at Draven and the rest of the party like
unless anyone stops him,
Yeah, no,
which,
exactly.
please feel free.
No, I think
He's
I'm
just gonna-
helping. I think I'm helping. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, like fucking Golden Wisdom's about to smash this
Okay.
thing. So like,
Smash it.
Stop
You hear it kind of
then
mid-
Draven
You
smashes it.
think as you crush it.
Ooh, how pissed do you think she's probably never been hung up on?
I hope that makes it worse.
Okay.
She said that they haven't finished consuming the drops. We need to go.
We need to deal with that.
We need to go. We need
We'll
to
double
go.
back
Wait,
on this
go.
whole Svepia thing.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
we'll
fine.
come back.
Oh,
But
no.
she spilled the beans. She said that they hadn't finished it. We gotta go.
So they're at the pools?
We
Yeah.
need to go now.
They haven't
Are
finished
there,
consuming the
um,
last drops. So
Okay.
Is there a stable or anything here? Can we get more horses? Can we do
They
something?
know so much. We've said so much out loud.
yeah, we gotta finish. We gotta kill.
A stable? You could probably rent horses here, yeah? It's a high trade area.
I can take one. I can probably take Eldred or Lena with me on Zeppeli, and then we can.
I can go with you on Zipelli and just I can be small and you will not have to carry.
Sure. And Willoughby can become a horse, right?
Willoughby can literally become a horse, so I'm not
So-
too concerned for
But for
myself.
long enough to get us there.
My wild shape lasts much longer than my starry form does, for context. So yeah, I can last a long time.
So if we just grab one
just get a
horse,
Draven will get a horse. Just
and then
Okay.
Eldred and Draven share one, and then I'll take Eldred on mine, and then we can go.
Okay. That
Okay.
would knock down your time from a day's travel down to about probably 6 hours tops, 5 hours tops.
oh yeah,
You know,
let's do it.
let's go.
How much for a horse?
I would say if you're kind of, are you looking to rent one or buy one? Just rent one for the travel
Yeah, we just
down.
Need to rent one. Yeah.
Draven.
I'll rent one for now. I'm a paladin. I'll get a horse eventually.
It's true.
You get a free horse. You don't have to pay for yours.
Greater magic steed, dude. Fucking-
Probably 5 gold. You could probably get a horse to ride down there
Easy.
for.
I'll pay that. I got money for days.
Yeah. But upon crushing that, rushing over to buy a horse, each of you mounts up and begins riding. You start moving as fast as you can.
I would just like to say that I am like, hang on a second, and I put my bags on the belly, and my eyes go black for a second, and there's a tiny little red squirrel, which scampers up and sits on Juno's shoulder.
Okay.
I'll put you in my scarf or whatever. You can
Yeah, nice.
Snuggle in.
Yeah. And you grip on like that as a little squirrel. You each ride as fast and as quickly as you can, heading towards where the thickets were, passing through kind of shortcuts, taking as much time as you can. About 5 hours start to pass by. You're deep into the night now. It is dark. Probably even closer to dawn as you get closer. But you arrive at this portion of the woodlands where the trees have grown thicker around each other, but where roots have kind of embedded and grown around in this kind of great spiral formation that digs down deep into the ground, almost like a kind of a cone shape. But on the outside, where the entrance of this thicket is, are these two great trees. They kind of stand as sentinel guardians. And beside them, across the floor, as you kind of ride into this area, you would see cuts all across the bottom of these trees. Some of the branches that have been torn through. And a couple of other dead guardians on the ground. Not trees, these ones, more like dryads that have been slain. You see their pools of blood, which is kind of almost a greenish tint to the red. It's kind of caused blossoming flowers to grow around them. Life grows where they died. One of the wounded trees looks down, raises its arms. You see its mouth kind of open wide on its tall on the tree. You see kind of it lifts the arm and it's very slow and raises it into a fist. This branch kind of curling up, ready to kind of attack if anyone rides too close to it. You're outside the front of the thickets and there has been an attack.
And this guardian is like protecting the entrance kind of thing.
Yeah, they're like two trees grown into like almost like an archway doorway of the thicket, where the grass goes down and deep into the roots.
Can you speak to it, Willoughby? Can you use a spell to tell it that we're here to help, that we're here to stop whatever's attack the people here, the creatures?
I think before Juno even asks, I think Willoughby would be kind of approaching the front of the group. Does it look like they react differently to seeing a Kvistier leading the group forward?
Give me a straight kind of just, I'm gonna say animal handling, even though it's technically not an animal, but almost like it's almost gonna be like a passive animal handling.
13.
You see it lower its arm and then drag its hand across the dirt, almost to insinuate none shall pass, as it kind of upheavals the dirt. You can see the one on the left that's less defensive is clearly been carved into. Axes and swords that have been kind of stabbed against it, but mostly axe wounds.
Is the gate open, or is it got like a lattice, or like closed in some form?
There's no physical actual gate.
It's just these arms, basically.
Yeah, basically their arms. They reach out and kind of protected themselves. It's almost like a respected grove.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand common?
Doesn't seem to.
Could it be a monstrosity?
Can I do a nature check?
Yeah.
To identify that, if I can?
Yeah.
Between it being a plant or monstrosity? 15.
With a 15, I would say this is technically a plant, this one.
Okay, Willoughby is going to cast Speak with Plants.
Okay.
He's going to try to...
I hope this works, because
continue.
otherwise, like, I think Juno's like, we gotta fucking just run past this thing. Like, we just gotta go.
We are here to help. I think it's fair to say we are not the same as the people that have likely broken into here. We heard word of this attack. I'm a Kvistier of Yggdrasil.
I am a guardian of the thickets. Many little ones have charged through here, killing our friends. Creatures like you.
Looks at the others.
Those who wish to do harm. The thickets fights back. But they've gone deep. You are here to help?
That we are.
Roll a persuasion check, and I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay. 17.
17.
must go quickly.
It moves its arm back. Kind of leans upright.
The thickets will take time to heal, but time we do not have. We fought well, dragged a few of them into the thickets, and crushed their bones, but many more got through us. They pelted us from afar after killing our guards, our carers.
We'll do what we can.
There are defenses inside. Be cautious of the great plant. It feasts some blood. Further in, you'll find them. We feel them. We'll tell the thickets not to attack you. Go.
And you see it close his eyes. You see many of the branches actually across the ground, the roots spread backwards and open up the pass even more. You've won the favor of the thickets itself, so you do not have that against you now.
Okay. I would have changed back.
Beans.
Okay.
Okay, I'm guessing that went well.
That would
Let's go.
Yeah, is this? Can
It
we
looks
take the
open.
mounts inside, or is this like it's going to become too narrow for the mounts and we should leave them here kind of deal?
It might become a bit too narrow once you get inside deeper.
So I think Juno will probably suggest that. they stop the
Joe,
horses at least.
while we're entering here,
Bandit
speak with
kicker can
plants
watch
is kind
the
of like
horses.
a very broad thing where I can also ask plants to do things. I'd like to, as we're like running in there, shout to plants to try to grab like the ankles or legs of anyone like doing anything currently in the center of this thing.
How long does speak with plants
basically
last?
Slow them
10
down.
minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
It lasts. So as we're getting in there, I just want to like be yelling at the plants to do whatever they can, even if it's not like necessarily going to cause harm to something, to try to hinder them, so that when we get
Okay.
there, they're at as weak of a point as possible for us to initiate a.
Okay. Yeah, you'd see the branches almost kind of help lead you down to the thickets a little further. And speak with plants is going to last as you you arrive around this kind of corner, moving through. And you can see you've had this feeling like you're kind of spiraling down, getting lower and lower into the ground. You can see the trees above are causing, or like the vines above and the thickets above are causing this kind of almost shadow effect as you keep going deeper and deeper. You get to this one section as the roots kind of pull away from you and stop like blocking the path, where you would see a massive plant like 30 feet by 30 feet with these kind of writhing tentacles and a massive kind of mouth right in the center where you'd expect the kind of like blossoming section of it and the kind of pollen to kind of be emanating from. Instead is like razor sharp teeth. You see this plant is like slithering across the ground. Several humans, axes, swords are kind of in this area trying to fight off this plant. You can see blood around it where it's dragged off some of them. You see grendlings. And then you also see these roach-like humanoids who are kind of like monstrous in their own form. They're talking in kind of skittering terms.
Nope.
And they have these kind of larger cockroach actual like beasts next to them. And they're holding them with kind of like chains and kind of like fighting back against any of the trees. You can see where they've cut down against any of the thickets. In the last few days, they've been kind of resting and moving through this woodland and kind of holding back the trees. You can see there's lots of dead plantation around you. And they've been slowed down by that. If you had not arrived, if you'd gone north, you would have missed this opportunity. But as you pass through into here, you see all of the people start to look around and notice as more of you start to come in. I'm going to move you to the battle map.
Oh
And just
shit!
is this looks like this is the main area, or does it look like there's more beyond this as well?
It looks like it goes a little deeper, yeah.
Okay.
But this looks like the main
I
path.
mean, I hate to split the party, but I'm almost thinking that like the speedy ones just run ahead.
I feel like we need to stick together on this one.
Yeah, maybe. But that's less exciting, Tomato.
Put you on
Excitement.
the map.
Well, I got a game plan that would make up for the absence of party members, technically, as a druid and all, you know.
True.
But there's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
If you'd like to put yourselves on the top left of the map, that is where you're coming in from. I can tell you that with Speak with Plants up and kind of the assurance of
June probably a bit ahead because of our movement speed.
the assurance of your from the Guardians that you will not be at threat of this creature if you can convince it to find your side. The rest of the roots would usually try and grab you. You're not going to have them try and grab you now.
Cool. But the plant creature is a separate
plant
thing, like the
creature-
actual big.
Yeah, is technically separate, but your speak with plants is technically still up.
Nice. Hey guys, Willoughby's not very persuasive, so I have another plan to kind of like pitch my persuasion rather than persuading, just so we're aware as a team. That 17 was an anomaly of Willoughby with his -2 to charisma check.
Yeah,
So, okay.
I did see that -2. I really want to try and go first because I want to try and knock these 3 dudes down.
Are we, sorry, are we rolling initiative?
Yes, if you could, please.
Okay.
God, I'm actually really glad that head came into play.
It's
It is as soon as you said, "Oh, they knew," I'm like, "Oh shit!"
I didn't even think about that. That's such a great. I've completely forgotten you had that thing.
I made an itemized list of everything that I picked up, even the useless things, because I don't
Well
trust
spotted.
Joe.
Okay, let me get everyone onto the initiative. And then on initiative count 20, this plant is going to go.
Same as me.
You are the plant.
Become the plant.
As you are,
Beat the ball.
you have dexterity. This thing is just kind of a natural creature there. You will go before it. Is everyone on the initiative order? I think so, right?
I think so.
so.
The moment you come around the corner, you can see there's kind of a general like panic in the area as they realize that they're dealing with you all as well.
Excuse me.
You see the Gremlings are up first. A couple of those guys. They this one is gonna 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yes, come closer.
It kind of
Yes.
looks towards you, Juno. It's gonna grab hold of one of its kind of little like rocks it has and goes and launches it your way. You can kind of throw whatever debris it can at the plant, and that throws it your way. 14 to hit.
Miss.
Okay, see it miss. Goes right past you. This one's gonna go up here, and it's gonna throw one of these things at the plant, which does hit. The plant takes 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you just see it just crack against one of its body parts and burst open slightly. Its tentacles slowly writhing. You are technically next, so Juno, you'll go.
Juno is gonna come kind of sprinting in where I've been running with monk speed, kind of leap into the air, and I want to land sort of in the middle of these 4 with the Grendling and then the 3 soldiers. And these soldiers look like they're with the bad guys, right? They don't look like allies. They're all bad
They're
dudes.
fighting the plant, and the Gremlings like work alongside them.
Nice. So as Juno leaps up into the air, you see Golden Wisdom, the Astral Self, the Dialogus kind of emerge from her back, and I'm going to activate both arms of the Astral Self and the visage of the Astral Self at the same time. Each creature that of my choice within 10 feet must make a dexterity saving throw DC 15, or they're going to take 2d6 force damage as part of the bonus action to summon the arms.
Okay.
So that's everybody, please.
So all these 3 bandits and the Gremling?
And the Gremlin, please.
Okay, we're going to do the bandits top to bottom first. What's the DC?
15.
This is the only guy to succeed out of the bandits.
Okay.
And the Gremling. Uh, 16 he rolled, so he succeeds as well. So these 2 are the only 2 to succeed.
Cool. All right. The ones that succeed, I believe, take no damage. There's no half
There's no
damage on
half?
this,
Okay.
but the ones who fail are going to take 7 points of force damage.
7 points of force damage.
That's my bonus action. And then this guy in front of me is just going to get my 2 unarmed strikes or my Golden Wisdom, my Dialogus attacks.
Okay.
At full blast. I'm just going to use my 2 from extra attack. So.
Okay.
First one is a crit.
Yeah, you just see as he kind of he spends all his time dodging away from the Dialogus appearing that it leaves him open. You just see a weak point and then go to
It's a
strike.
shit crit roll, but it's 11 points of force damage on that one.
Yeah, it's still 11 points of force damage. You just strike him once in the face.
Still up?
Yes.
All right, same guy, second attack, 14 to hit.
Let me just double check which one this one is.
The duality of Juno,
That hits.
nat 20, and then like if it was disadvantage,
Yeah,
nat one.
Yeah, and that one.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
monks. So many rolls.
7 points more of
He looks
force
really hurt now.
damage.
As you whack him again, you can see he's mostly
This
bruised
is
up.
just, you see the golden wisdom just.
This is actually.
And then, yeah, I'm just going to leave myself surrounding by all 4 of them. Like, come on, let's go.
Sounds good. He's wielding a short bow, that one. This guy's
Nice,
wielding
oh,
an
even
axe. Like an axe and. Let me double check. Yeah, he's axe and shield, this guy. This guy is. Great axe, and then the one down here is sword and shield. Okay.
I'm done.
On the plant's turn,
Happy
it
with
is
that.
going to reach out towards this guy, and it's going to take a strike to see if it grabs hold of him. And he is... Yeah, he's great, so that hits. He gets grappled and takes... only 4 points of piercing damage, but he is considered grappled and restrained right now as it pulls him back into it. He goes, distracted by you for the moment. He gets this wrap around him. You can see it kind of embeds into him. He calls out, "Get it off me! Get it off me!" He's got his kind of great axe in his hand. It's your turn. Will it be?
Wilby's gonna use his bonus action to activate Chalice Form. And
Okay.
then I'm going to do something pretty spicy. First, Wilby is going to try to speak to the plant. He's gonna shout out to it. We're here to help. How many went past here?
Only 3 made it by me.
You can kind of see as it's kind of like crunching back some bone.
Feed me, Seymour!
Don't attack. Me and my companions will push through to stop them. And then Wilby's gonna wait for a reply and confirmation of that before he does what he's about to do next.
I will not let any pass, including you.
Oh.
You kidding me? I could easily enable you to defeat all of these creatures, but you have to trust me. I am truly simply here to help.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage because you are speaking plant.
I'm also going to add my Cosmic Omen to
Okay.
it. So I'll add a 1d6 to the
1d6.
higher roll of these two.
I believe in you.
Advantage persuasion.
I believe
That's 14 plus d6 plus another 5.
Hey,
so 19.
come on. That's
You see
good.
the plant go. Kind of like squeeze a little harder and go, the guy starts like kind of shouting, trying to pull it off.
Then aid me. But I feast on each of them.
Sure, fine by me. I want to cast. I want to do something that's a little bit homebrew,
Nobody eat
Joe,
these
and you
guys.
can rule this however you want. I want to cast plant growth on this thing to empower it. The way I interpret it, almost like a haste effect
Okay.
for this plant.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I
I
like
want to
that.
make this
Large
plant
plus
bigger
boost.
and more dangerous than it was before.
Okay.
So I'll paste the spell, and you can kind of look at the
Yeah,
wording
yeah,
of it
yeah.
and see what there is you can do with that.
It's just, if creature, you can move.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It becomes enriched. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You can see.
Yeah, I mean, what level is haste and what level is...
Same thing.
Yeah.
So-
Same.
Same.
Yeah. This is essentially like a haste for this. You can see it go. You see you bolden it up. The teeth gonna grow outwards, and you can see as its arms thicken up.
Sick.
It's gonna occupy the same amount of space, but you can see it's now coiled its
His
arm around.
biceps
It's gonna
now.
double its range, and it's gonna do a lot more damage and attack twice. Yeah. You see as it's kind of bolstered and
Well, appreciated. I shall feast on all of them far easier now.
okay.
You got it. No one attack the plant, all right? Wilby says to the others. That's me.
Very cool turn, Lena.
Okay, that dude is grappled by the plant.
Yeah, restrained and grappled right now.
Got it. All right, I'm gonna trust that the plant's got him. Okay.
one in front of me, the blue one, is very injured.
It's been very injured, right?
Mhm.
Okay. I am going to. I'll move slightly this way just so I can get a little bit better view, I think. And then I'm going to magic dagger at the one in front of Juno.
Okay.
Where is the magic dagger? What is happening? Sorry, it is a blade. 20
Okay.
to hit
That hits.
the man. And that is 24.
Oh, you easily kill that man. You just. He collapses to the
Okay,
ground.
Great.
I mean, I'd beaten him to near death, so
Yeah.
I
And
hope that he was
then-
pretty low.
Yeah, I think
How
you have 3
many?
HP.
There's still a lot left. Okay, I'm going to stay here, and then I think for my bonus action, I'm going to throw another dagger at the other one next to Juno.
Okay.
That is. Sorry, I don't know what is going on. I can't see what I rolled.
It hasn't
Everything
come
is
up yet.
frozen.
Oh, you did. It's a 20.
Okay, my whole. I'm going to try to click this and see if it does.
If that doesn't work, just click
I'm
the other one.
refreshing.
It'll roll the same damage.
Yeah. Okay, wait, I refreshed. All right, sorry. No sneak for that.
Yep, just the 4 psychic damage. Okay.
Yes, just the 4.
Yeah.
Okay, that is, and then I'm going to stay there. How big are the roots where I am? Just out of curiosity.
They get thicker the deeper you go in, but most of these ones have been
Alright.
kind of cut on the edge, so not very big.
Got it. Okay, I'm going to stay there.
Okay.
But also I'm going to refresh my roll 20 again.
On the rock roaches, you can see they get unleashed. This one... Speed, okay. This one is going to rush over towards you, Juno. And this one's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I think it's going to dash all the way to the back. Just going to go
No.
straight towards the greater
Does it
group.
go past
Make
me?
that noise!
It'd be 10 feet away
I have
from you.
10-foot reach.
Yeah?
I've got 10 feet reach.
You can hit
No.
it.
I'm gonna get sentinel so I can start punching these guys and slowing them down. Opportunity attack, 26 to hit.
26 hits.
Hey, have 8 force damage. Whack!
8 force damage. I'm going to make a little wisdom save on it to see if it gets distracted and comes towards you. If I was a nat 20, it does not. It does its mission as it was told. And just carries on running straight towards the back group. But the one that used its action, the one that came towards you without using its action to dash, is going to... Yeah, it's gonna take a bite attack twice against you. An 8 and a 17.
17 will hit me.
Okay.
No!
All right. 17 hits. 10 points of piercing
Do
damage
anything about
as
it.
it leaps up and just bites straight into you and pulls back.
Yep, nothing I can do about that. All right, 10.
Okay.
Ow.
On their master's turn, the skirmishers. They're gonna do a couple of dart attacks. You see this one steps up, and actually it doesn't need to move. It's gonna do. Wait, how far away from you? No, it does. It's gonna move up 10 feet and shoot 2 darts at your way.
Okay.
A 14 and a 14. They both miss, right?
Yep. 17 AC.
Shoots it past you. This one is going to go up to here, thinking the plant is distracted. And it's going to take a disadvantage against Eldred and fire 2 darts her way.
What the hell?
A 23 with disadvantage. The first one, it rolled well. Sorry, my mouse keeps disconnecting. That is going to be 7 points of piercing and 5 points of poison damage.
Oh my god!
That's a lot!
And the second one is 16 to hit, which I don't think hits, right?
No.
You see as one of the darts hits against you and just embeds its poison into you, and the other one clinks off of your shield.
Oh, they're my neck.
Raven.
Ouch!
Mopes.
Eldred, do you want a hand or you got this? And he's like pointing at the rock roach.
I was gonna get the ones back there, not this one.
Okay. Draven will. So that's 20 feet. Move there. Bonus action. casting Shadow Blade. So he like reaches into the ground and pulls out what looks to be almost like a spectral Kopesh sort of blade.
Oh, hell yes.
And then is
dude.
just taking a swing at this disgusting thing.
Sounds
a
good.
Kopesh? Hell yeah.
22
Love a Kopesh.
That
dude.
hits.
Badass.
for 19 points of psychic damage.
90
Nice.
points of psychic damage. Okay.
And then he will take an attack of opportunity and move 10 more feet away.
And for a bite, it misses you. Kind of bites in the air as you go past.
Cool. That's my turn.
Okay. On the bandit's turn, the first one, who's captured by the... Actually, I'm going to go down them as I've got them color ordered. The one with the axe is going to move in towards you, Juno, and make 2 axe attacks.
Yes, come.
Misses
me.
both. 13 and 16.
Hey.
Swings against you to try and get to you. Holds his kind of shield in front of him.
Punch.
You are dodging them. The next guy, he's going to try and cut his way through the root to try and get himself out of there. But he does have disadvantage. So he misses with the new AC especially. He kind of swings and clicks off of the root and he's kind of confused that he's stuck on there. And then the last guy is going to move up. And he is going to use his action to give this one a protection to boost its AC. Has him with his shield kind of held up with him. Eldred.
Bonus action. I'm going to give a shield of faith to Juno, who seems pretty surrounded right now.
Thank you.
And my action, I'm going to give 2 tolls of the dead, died a lot. Same time to Roach Boy by Juno and Red Circle Boy. Well, they're both Red Circle. Red Human Circle Boy.
Yep.
Next to Juno. So wisdom saves.
So wouldn't save
one
off
of them
the-
is missing hit points, but not both of them.
Is it which ones are you doing? You're doing the red human and who else?
The roach in front of her.
Okay, that one hasn't been hit yet. Only the red human has.
Okay. Okay.
I hit the
this
one
one
near
had-
you. That was why.
And I hit this one, right?
No, the dude you hit is
They
dead.
both fail though.
No, I hit 2.
Oh, that's right, because
Nice.
you killed the one.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one who has been hit
It's the 5,
will
right?
take 5 necrotic, and the one who has not will take 2.
Is
and
what,
since the-
what level are you guys right now?
6.
Your damage is
Oh
too low.
no! I'm using an old cheat.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
You
2d12, baby.
go ahead and roll a d8 and a
Where
d12,
am I?
and we'll do those ones and
Come
add those
on,
on.
girl.
Yeah, you should be doing
Oh,
more
there
damage than
she is. Okay. Yeah. Roll 1d8.
I like that you
Roll
checked, Joe.
1.
that. It just looked
Yeah.
low damage, right?
Yeah, I was like 2.
Both 4s.
There you
Feels
go.
like their
Much
DC
nicer.
should be higher at this point too, right? So wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. The DC should be
Yeah.
higher.
But they failed. Okay,
Yep.
so I'm not nearly as hurt as I thought I was. Cool.
Is your
And
sheet like outdated? That's so weird.
it was a level 3.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got on that one. And since Draven made the roach use his attack of opportunity, I'm gonna back up.
Okay. Yeah.
Get out of there.
You're free to do so.
There you go.
Now stay in front of me.
Lumi's like, no.
On the Grenling's turn, the one right next to you, Juno,
Yes.
is going to try and do its bite attack.
I love it. I should be playing like a barbarian or something because I fucking love being surrounded by
You
enemies.
could.
It is
I mean, I've got my character planned if Juno dies, and it is a barbarian.
nice.
I've got a character fully planned out if Juno dies.
Really cool. I'm excited to
Yeah,
hear.
yeah.
Oh, noted, says Joe.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, right.
It's a 21 to hit though. The bite.
21 hits. Yeah, it's fine.
5
Actually,
points of
everyone
piercing
else
damage,
surrounds you now.
and
Sure.
you are considered grappled. You
we
can
don't
still
like
move
that.
at half your speed though, as grappled by one Grenling.
But it's not restrained, just grappled.
No, just
right?
grappled. So
So
right,
no
basically, you've
disadvantage
just
or
got
anything.
half movement speed right now in this version
Okay.
of grapple. It's like a half grapple.
Sure.
It's a DC of 10 to break out if you want to. But it's got you kind of just clamps its teeth around one of your legs. Okay. And then the other Grendling is going to use the chance to kind of rush round to you, Draven. It's going to try the same thing. It's going to try a bite. 16 to hit.
16 will miss.
You see it go kind of bite and just hit against your arm and go.
Gross.
Wait, who's wearing the monstrosity ring?
Yep.
You are?
I am.
No, yeah, Willoughby is.
Okay. Then you would hear it kind of spout a bunch of profanity towards Draven.
Nice.
Wow, he's talking
Grendling
shit.
swears.
Your
Juno.
mom is disgusting.
Right.
This grandma.
I got this guy attached to me. How much of a problem is that? I mean, I don't really care that this little guy's attached to me right now. But I am worried that these guys in the back rank seem to do a ton of poison damage, right? I'm going to let our spellcasters deal with the far back guys. I'm going to try and focus on the guys that I've got all surrounding around me. So I am going to... Have I muted? No, okay. Yeah, I'm just going to do 2 attacks. I'm going to focus on the Grendling that's got me grabbed to start with. I'm just going to do 2 normal strikes, and then I'll decide what I want to do with my bonus action afterwards. 25 to hit on the Grendling.
That hits.
9 points of force damage.
That kills
so
it.
Golden Wisdom just... Oh, nice.
Breaks it down.
Big golden fist just like slams her off me. The next attack then is going to go towards the warrior dude with the axes, the red warrior. That's a 26 to hit.
That hits.
6 points of force damage.
That's a monster.
Nice.
Let me check. 1 sec. That kills him.
That kills him as well.
Yep, he's dead.
In that case, then
Beautiful.
I'm going to bonus action patient defense.
Okay.
And now, as I'm no longer being grabbed, I'm going to use my movement, risk an opportunity attack from the Grendling and the Roach, but they would both be at disadvantage because I'm using patient defense.
Okay.
To go and engage these 2 at the far end and hopefully, again, give them disadvantage on their
I said the
attacks.
Roach is going to take
Because, like,
it.
if they're at range, then if I'm in their face, that's going to make it harder for them to shoot my buds, so...
Only 11 misses you.
Miss.
The Grendling doesn't take the tech opportunity. He's focused on Draven.
Okay, nice. And I've got... That dodge will last until my next turn, so any attacks against me, disadvantage.
Which one of us is the tank?
All right.
Damn.
I'm the monk tank. I'm the off tank.
The mank.
I'm the man.
Increased damage now.
Now I gotta do the accent.
The man-eating plant is going to try and crush the guy it's holding. There's 8
Come
more
on, I
damage to
believe in
him.
you.
He's looking really hurt. He's ah! The spines are going deeper into him. And then it's going to try and attack and hit the roachling right next to you. Juno.
Okay.
Misses
big
though.
guy. Boo.
And ducks under it. Willoughby.
Wilby is going to cast Guiding Bolt at the roach that is rapidly approaching his location.
Okay.
He has much of a choice.
Those little antenna are focused on you.
Yeah, so I'm going to shoot a Guiding Bolt at him. 22 to hit
That hits.
Hell yeah.
for 16 radiant damage.
16 radiant damage. Very nice. It's looking hurt.
Eldred was hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want one of my chalice seeds to be placed next to Eldred.
Okay.
And then I guess because right now technically plant growth isn't a concentration thing, but Joe, the way I was viewing it is that we could rule that I'm holding concentration on the haste effect on them for it, so that it's not just like an insane fucking.
No, it's. I think it's.
You think
I
it's
think
just not?
I think it's fine for
Okay.
now because it's kind of like a.
Let's go.
It's a very specific circumstances.
Yeah, exactly. It's a stationary
Okay.
creature that is.
Then if I'm not holding concentration on something and I've just placed that there, Wilby's gonna get in this thing's fucking face because the alternative is someone that's a little bit squishier than him having to take the hit anyways.
Okay.
So he's gonna get himself between the roach and Lena. And that'll be me.
Okay. Lena.
Okay, I'm going to, let's see who's left. We got the bug, roachling guy, and grendling, right?
Yeah, we're killing it.
And then the dude in the
We got
Yeah.
3 more.
And
we got
you
3
have
more
advantage
people
if you
further on
attack
as
the
well.
roach right now.
And I have advantage if I attack the roach. Okay. Can I I know there's roots and stuff here. Can I step across over here? Like
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. I'm going to actually, if I can, I'll move there. And then I'm going to a psychic blade, the one I have advantage on. That's next to my friend Willoughby.
Yep.
So let's see what happens there. That is 25 to hit,
That hits.
and that will be for 18.
That one dies.
Okay,
Falls to the ground.
perfect.
Falls up dead.
And then I think I'm going to take my bonus action, psychic blade. I'm gonna do the roach that's left in the middle of the carnage Juno left.
Okay. What's your range on your thing?
60.
Okay.
60, sorry.
Is that 6-0 without disadvantage?
It's just 60. The psychic
Okay.
blade is just 60.
Yeah.
24. Oh, I should turn off advantage.
That hits.
Sorry. And that is just another 4.
Okay, 4 points of damage.
And I'm going to stay there.
Okay.
I also just noticed the little seed guy.
Yeah.
Like token.
Little seedling. Okay, on the rock roach's turn, it's going to go up towards you, Draven.
Yep.
And it is going to do an acid spit attack. Actually, no, it can do that back here. It's going to do that back here. It's a nat 20.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be a total of 15 points of acid.
Dope.
And you're going to start taking acid damage at the start of your next turn, unless the target immediately uses its reaction to wipe off the spit. It's up to you if you want to wipe off the spit.
Yeah, I'll use my reaction.
Okay. Yeah, you see it. It's kind of like almost like coalescing on you, and you'll be able to
Excuse
kind
me.
of flick it off of you before it can do any bigger damage.
It's getting fun.
The roachling skirmishers on their turn. You see, this one is going to. Let me get his actual sheet out. You see, this one is going to take its short sword against you and try and attack you, Juno.
Okay.
It's another nat 20. But only 5 points of piercing damage as it stabs into you once.
Okay.
This one is going to move up here and I think it's going to pursue, along with its roach, Draven, shoot 2 darts.
Yep.
A 13
No.
and a 6.
No.
Yeah, it misses you.
6.
It is your
Don't
turn,
insult
Draven.
him.
Bonus action, form of dread. Good.
So sorry, Joe. Did you remember disadvantage on that attack against me? Because I have my dodge action,
right, you're
defense,
absolutely
patient defense.
It would have been a 22. So it would have
So
been.
still a hit.
It wouldn't be a crit, so just the 4 damage. So minus the 1.
Okay. Poor guy. Getting
Yeah.
a 1 on that crit sucks.
Yeah.
Cool.
So then-
buddy.
Sorry.
Form
of
of dread. The Shadow Blade basically just overtakes the rest of him, and the Shadow
Oh.
Blade is probably going to shift into like that of a scythe
Okay.
to then resemble like a Reaper and Thanatos again. And
Cool.
he kind of just like a wide, toothy, probably terrifying grin comes across the face. And he says, "Tell your grandmother I'm coming."
You can see it kind of get scared. And
That's a 10.
Joe, I have a question
ducks under. Yeah?
about Shadowblade. Would you say that him being in the shade here counts as dim light?
Yeah, I'd say if you're in a shadow.
Because Shadowblade
spot.
gives him advantage if he's in dim light.
True. Yeah, I'd give it to you. I'd say, yeah, I think it's a fair
Hell
point.
yeah.
I think if you're
I
being
got
in the
you,
shade
dude.
portion,
I got
yeah.
you.
Bless tomato.
And
25.
it's also the map doesn't really reflect it, but it's kind of late at night. Yeah,
Oh hell yeah.
25 hits.
Kind of just because I'm a monster. I'm also going to put a divine smite level 1 into that.
Okay.
This poor little dude.
So
Also 'cause
9
I'm a
radiant,
monster.
16 psychic, so 25 points of
So you,
damage.
you just slice straight into it, and it is dead.
Now we can't even tell her.
What was his
He's
last
dead.
words? 'Cause Willoughby knows him.
You'd hear him about to say like, "I'll tell you when you're dead," and then like gets cut in two. He was kind of threatening back.
No!
And then I'll use my movement to come next to this one.
Okay.
Hi. That's my turn.
Winks.
On the bandit's turn, this one is going to try and break out. Using his great axe with disadvantage. He doesn't hit. Just keeps clinking against it. And then the bandit next to you, Juno, is going to take a sword strike, but misses.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Eldred.
Is using this seed action, bonus action, or just movement
walking on it.
stepping
Just walking
over
over
it? All right, I will
Yeah.
step over it.
1d4 plus 5. You'll heal for 7 HP.
Wait, 1d4 plus what?
Plus
Five.
5 plus my wisdom modifier.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, feeling much better. And then I'm going to run over to point south of Lena. And...
Everything
are
has
there
been
two
hit
of-
now.
Yeah, everyone's been hit. Who's looking
Think so.
worst? Joe.
Out of these guys,
Enemies.
this guy hasn't been hit.
Disregarding the
Oh.
guy in the
This
plant.
guy hasn't been hit.
Okay.
This
Okay.
guy hasn't been
I'll
hit.
hit the two that have been hit.
That's been hit, and
on
so
the
is the guy in the plants.
southwest.
The only people that have been hit is the
So
plant
this
dode
one-
and the roach.
And that one.
Okay, well, I'll go for Roach and the skirmisher next to the Roach with
Okay.
another Toll the Dead.
Okay. The
Has been
skirmisher
hit.
fails, and then the roach also fails.
Roach takes 18, Skirmisher takes
18.
9.
And 9 points of damage. Very nice. Yeah, you see the kind of the toll in the dead causes some necrotic decay on each of them. Very cool. Anything else?
Okay, that's it.
Juno.
All right. Basically, I'm not going to spend any more key points. I want to save them for the upcoming fight. So you got 3 attacks coming towards... I'm going to focus on the Locust Man, the Locust Fella, or Locust Creature. So I'm going to just do these in order, because in case I do kill it, I'll switch the attacks to the other one. First attack, this is all a big flurry coming from the Dialogus, the Astral Self.
Okay.
18 to hit,
Yep, that hits.
7 points of force damage.
Nice.
Second one, 20 to hit,
That hits.
9 points of force damage.
9 points of force damage.
Still up, Locust Man.
Still up. Yep.
Last one, 19 to hit. Jeez, my rolls
That
are
hits.
really good.
Right? You are on fire, dude.
Monster.
10 points of force damage.
You punch him 3 times. He crumples and drops down dead.
Hey, result.
Nice.
That was my bonus action. I mean, I guess for movement, I will just shift ever so slightly this way. So me and Draven are like back to back fighting.
Okay.
Now,
Hell
because that's
yeah.
cool.
That is cool.
That's a guy,
Literally,
baby.
I will use my movement to do cool.
The plant misses its first strike towards the guy next to you, Juno. We'll check 12. I don't think hits him. No, he dodges beside it twice. It's trying to grapple this guy here, but it misses him. Willoughby.
Willoughby is going to cast another guiding bolt at the roach boy next to Drake.
Okay.
Here we go. That's a 20 to hit
That hits.
for another 16 radiant.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that kills him. Just crush him. It burns away and radiant light just sizzling.
I'm gonna put another healing seed right here in the middle of everyone.
Okay.
Oh,
Other seed goes down.
And that's me.
Okay. Lena.
Can enemies use those?
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to.
Think of them as like sentient seeds that are like glowing, and when you step on them, it emanates the magic up. So it's like, it's a choice.
I think I will stay where I am, and I'm going to steady aim, and I will throw a psychic blade at the orange guy.
Okay.
So let us make that happen. No, 17.
17 hits.
All right, that is good then. We will take it. 22.
It's exactly his HP.
Hey!
Just falls down dead.
Okay, that is my turn. I'm
Okay.
going to stay there.
On the rock roach's turn, it's going to step up here. Look towards Draven as it was its previous target and the target of its owner. Do another acid spit.
So gross.
22 to hit. So
Yeah.
Draven, you take 8 points of acid damage. Have you got? Yeah, you've gone since. If you'd like to use your reaction, you
Yep.
can wipe off. Yep. As it kind of burns against you again.
Reaction to wipe it off, and I am glad for that temp HP.
It's gonna then rush up this way towards Willoughby. Across the ground. These guys come off the turn order. It's now your turn, Draven.
So how much health does the
1d4 plus 5.
so my familiar is still with me, and because of the Pact of the Chain thing, I
You'll get
regain
9.
hell yeah. So I'll take 9 back
Okay.
and just running through the seed, and then he's gonna take a strike against this thing.
That's such a spicy fucking synergy, dude. I love that fucking
very good.
That's
invocation.
crazy good, yeah.
Ooh, I'm learning.
Especially if you've got like just an invisible familiar and their job is to sit on your shoulder
Yeah.
and make sure you get max HP every time.
Ow.
Right?
So
You have advantage. Oh, you.
yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
rough. A 2 and a 1 is
What?
never
2 and
good.
a 1.
You swing
Oh,
twice
buddy.
and it's kind of dodging and ducking away from you.
But bonus action, because of my boon, that ironically Draven got away with no one asking him who he aligned with, Vampiric Fenrir Bite.
Okay.
So that's a 15 to hit.
Just misses. This thing has a slight. You bite into the hardened carapace and you realize it doesn't dig through.
Ooh, Nella's just pissed. That's it. That's my turn.
On this guy's turn, he's going to try and break out of the. Oh, I didn't do the damage from the thing. Hold on. Oh, he'd be dead anyway. It gets crushed and then
That man's
dropped straight into
dead.
the mouth. And he's dead. So he does not get a turn. Eldred.
Oh, so sorry.
I will take inspiration from Willoughby and give my own creepy version of a guiding bolt. Boop. To the roach in front of me. It seems like light, destroys roaches.
You
24 to hit?
Anti-light, dark
kind of
light.
burns against him. Yeah, like a dark light. Yeah, kind of burns against the
Yeah,
side
it's like a
of
purple black
gleaming.
light.
Ew.
it.
Roaches are so gross.
It looks hurt.
But still up.
Still up.
Okay. And then I'll just kind of step towards the south a bit. Yeah.
Easy.
Juno.
I'm
Is
gonna
the
run
roach
in.
the last thing alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna run in, past my man Draven, and here we go. Golden Wisdom, JoJo Bizarre Adventure style. Whack, crack, whack. 18 to hit.
18 hits.
9 points of force damage.
9 points of force damage. Still
Still
up,
up.
but hurt.
Oh, 11.
Hit it once. The second one doesn't break through.
16.
Exactly its armor class.
That's my martial arts attack. 10 points of force damage.
Exactly its health. How do you want to kill it?
It's just that classic thing of like you probably see the kind of the golden visage, this kind of like spectral woman, sort of elbow drops on the back of its neck, and it just snaps.
Oh, the
thing in half.
classic
Like
golden wisdom elbow drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
yeah,
see-
yeah.
And you just see it kind of crunch
Yeah.
across the ground and like splatters. And you kill
Yeah.
the last of the roaches. Clearing out the entirety of the area. You can see the great big plant next to you is reaching across and just dragging any of the bodies it can get. And just lift it and swallow them all back one by one. But none of it comes towards you. Clearing the path.
Let's go. There's 3 more up ahead, right?
Willoughby's gonna like turn back to the plan. So can you like follow us, or are you kind of rooted here?
I don't move beyond my thicket. Whatever comes
Well, I guess
down
just-
here, I eat.
Keep anything else from coming in there, not with us.
You've
Be
done me
back
a great
soon.
favor, creature. I have grown many years in this short space of time.
Starts swallowing down another creature.
I'll run through and give the plant a thumbs up as I go. Good luck.
Bye.
Um, rushing into the next section. Just 'cause we've gone a little bit over. Just you move down there and get to like the portion where it spirals down further and further into the darkness. And when you finally get down, you see stood across next to this rock where liquid is dripping and draining down it, but not much left. You see this smaller manatee that has been clearly consuming the pools down here. You see as it kind of stands there in the darkened end of the thicket. The entirety of this kind of thicket is grown around, or is just driplets coming down a rock. You see butterflies flying at the top of it, trying to get any slight amount of the water left. But this manatee is leaning across and kind of just draining in any of the droplets it can. Near it is another one of the roachling, hooded, kind of standing. Small, only about probably 5 feet tall at max, maybe 4.5. Just kind of waiting, looking around nervously, looking at the trees. And occasionally walking over to the tree line and cutting one of the roots is this giant, a Jotun. Not as tall as you're probably about 15 feet tall. Broad, kind of holding this kind of great big axe on his back. And across his back, he's wearing bones. Bird-like bones. And a human skull that just hangs off him, almost like a cape. He's been carrying it around. And the head looks towards all of you as you kind of come down into the thickets and goes,
They've arrived. Deal with them.
and the kind of ginger-haired Joan.
Yes, my lady.
Oh, buddy.
And readies for a fight. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session in the deep
Hell
parts
yeah.
of the thicket. Good job of that fight, guys. I thought we'd have to go, all right, but we're going to leave midway through the fight and we'll pick it up next time. But you made
So many
quick work
punches.
of those enemies.
The dice were very kind to me tonight. So
Yeah, I mean, it
felt
also
like-
helped that we didn't have to deal with the plant.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
yeah,
was,
that was very
huge,
clutch.
because that meant
That was
I
very
could just
clutch.
run through and
That was really
punch
good.
a
Because I
bunch
had
of
whole
stuff without
mechanics
worrying
for how
about
like the branches come in and try and grab, and the plant would have tried and grab you guys as you go past and everything. But you managed to,
Yeah.
you managed to.
And he like
deal
took
with it
another
pretty
guy
easily.
out of the fight and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. And you didn't have the fight at the beginning. I got to cancel that fight with the trees in case you would have tried to get past that. So very well
absolutely.
played.
Druids, dude. Fucking druids.
It's fun. It's
In the
fun to have
right
one to play.
circumstances, that's super good.
Yeah. Well, we 10 minutes over, so I'll let you guys do your shout outs and we can shoot off. But thanks so much for playing. Let's start with Mark and go around that way.
Oh, hey! The main thing you can follow High Rollers D&D. It's on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. High Rollers D&D is where I do my main D&D show. High Rollers. It's my baby. Been doing it for a long time. We just had a pretty epic recent session. We're gonna be on break for Christmas, but we're gonna try and do some fun stuff in between. Me and some chums are gonna do some Gundam building and stuff like in between
Awesome.
the holidays, and then we're gonna be back in the new year with more D&D stuff. And then I'm hopefully gonna be doing a lot more stuff on my own Twitch. Sherlock Humes _
Awesome.
Trying to do some more TTRPG stuff and gameplay stuff. We need to play some Dark and Darker at some point, Joe, as well. When
Oh,
that's,
dude, I've been
if
obsessed.
that comes back in. Yeah, it's really
100%
fun.
do it.
It's a really fun game. I definitely want to play some with you. So,
Yeah, I'll be
yeah,
down.
that's it. That's me.
Chrissy, OG.
What's up, MLG? I don't know. I do stuff. I play D&D, but only once this week because we got holidays. They get in the way of D&D, which is fine, I guess. But priorities, man.
Santa is selfish. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Santa. Am I right? No, I'm kidding.
But hey,
Santa,
we
you're
got our
great.
mistletoe.
Eh,
Christmas
oh,
episode.
hey, that's true. Oh, shit. I didn't even get any. God damn it. All right. Next year, I'll have a mistletoe. Move on.
Tomato.
I got nothing.
Okay. Twitch.tv/tomato.
Okay.
He's got everything. Yeah, I accept it now. He's got
That's
nothing.
it,
This is
yeah.
like it's like a man who signed up to psychiatry, and every week he comes in, just looks at me, just stares the whole time. Like, okay, you know what? That's a good session. We've really made progress. Brizzy.
At Brizzy Voices on the internet.
That's it. Bam.
It's contagious. Go check her out. Gabe. I mean, you call you Draven.
Gabe Hicks. Draven.
Draven.
Gabe James Games. I got things. I got games. Boom.
It's true. Definitely.
Got
He has
games.
He's got games.
Right on.
He's got games.
Got games and got game.
Twitch.tv/Joe, do you know about this one? Yeah, we're taking a break off of Godforge this Sunday as it lands on Christmas, but we'll be back probably the week after. It'll be the 1st of January. So
That was
come
a
live
big
for that.
scheduling fuck up by you. You should have done the math.
I know.
Yeah,
I
man.
really messed up. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
I
really
can't
sorry.
believe this.
But hey, we'll come back the week after, the first day of the new year. Other than that, you can go to our Discord if you want to talk about the show, post any fan art, all of that kind of good stuff. And then also, there's a Patreon if you want to go and see behind the scenes stuff, or notes and whatnot, and designs of monsters. Otherwise, happy holidays. Have a great weekend. Whether you celebrate anything or not, just go and get yourself loads of good food and try and enjoy the relaxing time. We'll be back probably next week. We'll double check with everyone, and I'll let you guys know in the Discord. But otherwise, happy holidays, and everyone, thanks for coming out, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Happy holidays.